Hello and welcome to Monday Night Bloodbath episode. It is episode 14, and the Libertarians are retarded, and Tim Poole's boring. Who would have known?
And a bit misleading.
Yes and no. Yes and no. So, before we get into that, how you doing, nerdy?
Good. I got home about 15 minutes ago, wolfed down some pizza, and I'm ready to go.
Nice. I had pizza for lunch. So yeah, let's talk about the Tim Poole thing first. That just happened. I don't have any clips or anything. Like, it literally ended 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were upset because of the Kash Patel thing. I didn't even go and read about it, but I knew that there was going to be a build-up to the 20-minute Trump interview, right? Like, I mean, I didn't have to go find information. I was able to hear it through all the different other people talking about it, right?
Through the grapevine?
But yeah, through the grapevine, other people randomly talking about it and stuff. How's it going, Acid?
Acid.
So, like, I knew, like, well, one, it was also a premiere. So
yeah, pre-recorded, not live.
And it said that in the image. He
posted that live, like the countdown to it started like 48 hours ago.
Yeah, and it said it was premiere and not live. So I mean, if you were upset about that, that's kind of on you for not being observant.
Yeah, no, I don't think many people had a problem with that. I mean, I think a live would be much better than a premiere, but I don't think many people really had an issue with it being pre-recorded.
I think so I think a lot of people would be disappointed with the live.
Really?
Because they'll send super chats that won't be. I mean, it is Tim Poole, so
he doesn't read the super chats.
Super chat is not guaranteed on Tim Poole, but 0 super chats would get read on a Trump Timcast.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people would be up in arms about that. But you know what? It doesn't take a whole lot for anyone to get upset these days, does it?
No, it does not take much. But yeah, I think for most people, myself included, the biggest issue was that we're expecting this Trump interview, and it's at the very end. You have to wait through this hour and a half with. I've heard the name Kash Patel before. I know literally nothing about him. So it's like, yeah, we're going to get this Trump interview, and it's this Kash Patel for like an hour and a half. And like, okay, he may be great, but you're kind of doing him a disservice putting him before Trump. Like, no one's going to care about him when we're waiting for Trump.
I think he was the connect. I think that's how they got to Trump, because Kash Patel's been on Timcast before. As a matter of fact, I want to say Kash Patel's been on within at least the last 2 weeks, if not within the last week. But I think that he was the connection for how they were able to go and interview Trump.
Like they were able to connect with Trump via Kash and his connections.
I think that's it's just a theory.
Okay, like I said, I know literally nothing about him other than I've heard his name, so I have no idea what he's about.
I know very little about him as well. He's a libertarian.
Okay.
The interview itself, they talked about illegal immigration, and he asked how he was going to do that, right?
Mm-hmm. He did.
And I think he asked.
That was a good question.
Yes, that was a good question. He asked, "How do you see the this biggest deportation?" That's what Trump says. It's the biggest deportation ever. How do you see this happening?
Yeah. What are the logistics behind actually fulfilling that promise?
Yeah.
Not just saying you're going to do it. Like, what is your plan? So.
And Trump's answer was by restoring honor to local police, and
so they can do their job.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be relying on governors that don't want to do anything you want, Trump. So the state of California isn't going to move a single soul.
Yeah.
And that's how the Constitution's built, and that's okay. It sucks, but like, I don't know if we've got criminals, if we've got people in New York that don't belong in New York, right? And they're fucking shit up for everyone. For some reason, I hear a lot about
why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, and now there's some of them that aren't fucking anything up, right? Like there's some of them that are just keeping their head down, but yet still sucking off the teat of the taxpayer. And yo to Mr. Paul Hadouken.
What's up, Paul? Good evening, buddy.
But like, if you've got a governor, say Kathy Hochul is still governor when Trump is in there, and you've got these illegals that are like robbing homes, committing terrible crimes, things you can't say on YouTube, right? Things that people do to the female sex, and they do these terrible things. Yeah. And they just get released from jail like no big deal.
Yeah.
And Trump's going to rely on her to remove those people, and she's going to give him the biggest middle finger ever. And she'll be proud to do it. So I don't know how well that would actually work.
Yeah, it's like, what would, I don't know the logistics behind like legally what could Trump do. It's like, it's gonna march the National Guard into the state and do it himself. Like that's definitely gonna come across as dictator.
Yeah, I don't want to see that either, right?
Yeah, that's not a good answer either.
So I don't know. I don't think it will be nothing. I don't think it will be like, I don't think nothing will happen. Well, shit, I'm even my state right now. Like we've got a Democratic governor and she won't do anything. I'm so glad we've got Republican local House
Like
and Senate
mayors.
here.
Oh, okay.
Because they just they pass a bunch of bills that would be great, and the governor just says no. But like she can't get anything passed either. So we're like in the stalemate, which it is what it is. I'd rather have a stalemate than a bunch of people running roughshod over everything and doing a bunch of retarded stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see how. Good question. The answer was okay. The answer was okay. He answered it in a manner that he had thought about this.
I would sure hope so, given our
it
not
wasn't.
that we're
It didn't
close
feel
to
like
the election, but
out of his ass.
Given that we're this close to the election, I would sure hope that he's got an answer for that, being that immigration is one of the biggest issues right now. Illegal immigration, of course.
Yeah. So Tim Poole only had 20 minutes. It would have been nice if he could have asked a follow-up, be like, okay, well, what if you've got Gavin Newsom or Kathy Hochul or Hochul, however you say that dumb bitch's name.
And who is that? I've heard that name.
That's the governor of New York.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. The one who said black kids don't know what a computer is.
Oh, that lady.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah, we watched that last time I was on.
So and then after that,
that's not racist at all.
Right. Oh my God. Did you see the guy? So there was a new one that came out, a new meme of a guy dressed up as a caveman, a black man dressed up as a caveman, and walked in and ran into an Apple store, acting like he didn't know what anything he saw was.
I have not seen that. That sounds hilarious. I did see the clip where they put it next to her talking about black kids not knowing a computer, and the guy was on all fours, like batting the laptop around like a cat, like he didn't know what it was. That was funny.
They did that. So that originally came from Biden. Biden said something. Biden said black people don't know how to use computers.
Well, was that recently or like
no? That was back at the last campaign.
Okay.
Yeah. Jesus. How?
Not surprising.
I hate YouTube. I hate YouTube so much because there's something I want to say about winning elections that they don't.
Does Bloodbath need to become Rumble exclusive?
Maybe eventually. I don't know.
So it can actually.
No one watches on Rumble, anyways.
Hey, what's up, Vex?
Hello, Vex Electronica. What's Acid's asking something about?
Who's
going to open their border to let massive deportation? Mexico said they won't let Trump do it. There's that, but also
it's like
most of these people are not coming from Mexico. They're coming through Mexico, but they're not coming from Mexico. So I don't know how you work that out. Especially because they're like, I said deleting their papers. They're like trashing their papers as they're crossing the border so that no one can know who the hell they are or where they're from or anything? I don't know, but that's a damn good question. And then I don't know if Paul is referring to this, but
because you said something about the illegal immigrants sucking off the teat of the taxpayer.
Yes, and then he told me to say it on YouTube anyways. And how did Joe Biden win the election? He said, "You're not black if you don't vote for me." And then he said, "Black people don't know how to use a computer." There's no way.
Not legitimately, he didn't.
There's no way. Yeah, not legitimately.
I heard recently that they changed it so now you can talk about the election results on YouTube because in this next one, when Trump wins, they're going to say, "Oh, it was election fraud," and you can go ahead and talk about it now.
I get hit with what you call it?
Oh, the little like fact checks.
Yeah, every time I get
like
hit that COVID election stuff.
Yep, I saw that on the last bloodbath. Basically, YouTube's version, much crappier version of Twitter's community notes.
Yeah, it's not that, except it has nothing to do with community. It's just their algorithm saying, "Oh, they said the word."
Yep.
Stick that to your ass. So what else did they talk after that? After that, Tim Poole did say something else in regards to like Fauci and saying, "I want to see these people arrested."
Yeah, he's telling Trump that Elon said prosecute Fauci.
Yeah, and Trump very politically said, "Yeah, I would like to see things like this too." Well, he worked around it in a politician way.
He sidestepped it essentially.
Yeah. And then after that, it was the wars. There's a lot of opinions on Donald Trump and the wars. And I've been hearing a lot of opinion on Donald Trump and the wars, and I'm sticking with what I've always kind of seen it as. He did do the Moab thing. And that was like a one and done. And then you never really heard much more about him blowing the shit out of things, right? I don't know if you remember that, but he dropped the Moab, which was like the mother of all bombs, within like easily the first 6 months, if not the first 3 months of his presidency.
Really? Where?
Afghanistan?
I don't think I knew this.
I don't remember exactly. It was either Afghanistan, possibly Syria, and then he gets a lot of crap for stuff in Syria, but also like he was lied to, saying that no one was in Syria, but turns out they were, and those are more people that Tim Poole wanted to see prosecuted.
Yeah, because he's asking him about having a bad cabinet last time. You're going to make sure you have more reliable, trustworthy people in your cabinet this time that aren't going to lie to you and give you bad intel.
And the Trump answer was a Trump answer. He's like, "I know better now," which hopefully, but that doesn't mean anything until we see it put into action, right? Like,
yeah.
Everyone thought the next person in the cabinet, like in all those cabinet positions that were coming and going, everyone always thought the next person was the dude, right? Like the one that was going to get things done. That didn't happen. Remember the Mooch? Scaramucci or whatever his name was. He was some Italian guy that came in that pretty much just came in to like fire a bunch of people and then left. And not left, but he got fired himself. And then he just started talking shit. And now he's an asshole. I forget what his title was, but he something. Anyways, it was an okay interview. It was short and quick. It was nothing spectacular.
Question that I'm sure you'll probably be able to answer, because the very last thing they talked about was pardoning Julian Assange. I've heard that name a lot, but I do not know. No one's ever talked. Whenever I hear his name, no one ever talks about who he is. They always say pardon Julian Assange. Who the heck is he? The WikiLeaks guy. That's right.
He's the dude that released all of the Hillary Clinton emails.
Yeah. Why? So why does he need pardoning? Because he did us a service of letting us know about the corrupt government.
Right. Now there is the aspect of where some of the information that had been leaked by WikiLeaks also possibly this isn't what they use in this isn't the term that they use in intelligence agencies, but it's what we use. Some of the information that he released doxed spies supposedly,
Oh, okay.
and that makes you a traitor
That makes sense.
in the law. Personally, if that's the cost to show that the government's corrupt, kinda don't care, you know. And then there's also talks about Edward Snowden, but the Edward Snowden thing gets really hairy because so he was exposing the stuff that the NSA does, right?
Yeah, I did watch both the movie Snowden. I saw that in theater with Joseph Gordon-Levitt was playing him. And then after that, I immediately watched the actual like documentary Citizen 4
with Glenn Greenwald and all of them.
Yeah, it had like the actual clips and the videos and stuff from that.
I've seen all of those. The problem is that they don't cover that he worked for the CIA before the NSA, and so those are two organizations that like are constantly butting heads because they want each other's budget, and so there's a weird conflict of interest possibly there with him being a double spy, meaning like he was working for the CIA when he was blowing the whistle on.
So like the CIA put him there in order to get the NSA budget reduced so they could have that money. Is that the conspiracy theory?
Something like that. Like, yeah, to really to like get to have the CIA expand their coverage. Right, because they want what the NSA does, which I guess essentially comes down to budget. But yeah, that is a theory out there.
Interesting.
Outside of that, what was released needed to be known, and I don't think he should go to jail for that.
Right,
but there should be something about why did this happen?
Yeah, the people who he was ratting out should be the ones who should get locked up.
And so that was pretty much it for the Tim Poole interview. It was he only had 20 minutes, so you weren't going to get much. I would have liked an hour-long interview, and I would have liked something where there could have been more of a back and forth. I think we need to see Trump on a back and forth. I would like him to go out and do the podcast tour.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what? Actually, him sitting down with Tim Poole is a big sign of maybe. And you know what? Maybe Joe Rogan gets a little jealous. Because Trump on Rogan breaks the internet for a week.
Has he not been on Rogan before?
Yep. You see, here we go. No. Back in the last election, Rogan said never.
Really?
Never, ever. And now Rogan seems open to the idea. I don't think he straight said it out. Maybe Paul might know because he's a Rogan regular.
Because I've never actually watched Rogan. I've just seen clips of it that other people talk about him. Like, why would he say never? I didn't take him for being someone with TDS.
No, he's not TDS. He
Is it more of his corporate overlords saying, no, you're not allowed to?
No, I don't think it's corporate overloads. I really think it is him. I think because he has fucking Alex Jones on his show, right? Like,
oh, that's a good point. You'll have Alex Jones on, but not Trump. Like,
so him and Jones go back, right?
Okay.
Like, yeah, him and Jones go back. That's why that's a thing. They're buddies.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what his reason. It's not a TDS thing. I think it was more of just trying to stay out of it.
Trying to
stay out of election type stuff.
Okay.
But I don't know if he could say that he's doing that because he's had RFK on recently, I want to say. Now, having RFK on a couple of years ago or something, completely different from having RFK on now as far as politically, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Trump on Rogan would be absolutely insane. The internet would cease to work for a week. I'll have to use some PTO on those days, but I think it would be a good thing. It would be huge. There's no way Trump loses an election without some super insane shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
After he goes on Rogan. And then and then all the people that hate Joe Rogan would lose their shit. Oh, it would be great. It would be hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be great.
A lot of fun to be had. What other podcast would be a good one for him to go on? I don't really know many big podcasts.
I don't know how big it is, but the other thing that comes to mind would be PBD.
Yeah, PBD is pretty big. Shit, Vivek Ramaswamy was on FNT.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it was very brief, but that was cool.
Yeah, it was brief, but that was the moment that I was more like onto what Vivek was saying, because that interview showed that he knows what's going on. Like when freaking Garrett asked about the MCU.
Yes.
And he picked up on that so fast. He's like, oh, the feminization of Marvel movies and all.
Yeah,
that.
he hadn't heard the term, but yeah, he picked up on that fast. Oh, I don't know anything about it, but Paul says the Fresh and Fit podcast. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about that one.
No. No, fuck those guys. Abba and Preach, on the other hand, would be interesting. They would, because they're definitely very much centrist. Fresh and Fit would just gobble them. But Abba and Preach would be an interesting interview.
So you're saying Fresh and Fit would be too what's the word I'm looking for? Partial in the other direction. Yeah,
Fresh and Fit's manosphere red pill BS.
Okay.
And they're super phony. I don't know how else to put it. They're super phony.
You're a phony. A big fat phony.
Paul says Abba and Preach are lame. Well, I don't know. I think they make decent content. Like they show interesting things. I just see them not like I want to see someone push against Trump, right? But not like the disingenuous way that CNN does it, right? CNN fucking lies. Mm-hmm. I want someone to actually bring facts and like have a conversation, a real conversation, not looking for some sort of gotcha, not some sort of some sort of, not to get some sort of clip out of it. Or just a complete blowjob for Trump, right? I don't want to see that either. And Tim was walking the line on the blowjob. But yeah, it was an okay 20 minutes. You're not missing out on anything if you didn't see it, is how I feel.
It'd be great if he did do like a podcast tour and it put a little bit of heat on Biden to kind of do something similar, but it's never going to happen.
But Biden doesn't give a shit. As a matter of fact, let's take a look. So we've got the Libertarian stuff, the Libertarian stuff to go over. And I want to see.
So who is the guy that they nominated?
Okay, do you want to talk about that first or the speech?
Whatever you want to do, doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
I just saw they nominated someone. I saw the picture, but I didn't know who it was.
Let's talk about Chase Oliver. He's on the thumbnail today.
Oh, was he? Oh, yes, that guy.
He is on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I thought it was odd that they was it nominated or like he
is their presidential candidate.
Yeah, and I noticed, he's wearing a mask. That doesn't seem very libertarian.
So yeah, he's got wax and facts, and he's got the gay little porcupine, libertarian porcupine wearing the
Is the
mask.
porcupine there like the libertarian animal, like the
Yeah,
donkey and the elephant for?
Yep.
Okay, I did not know that.
And in this tweet, he says, "I'm happy I got to spend my Sunday out in the district supporting local business and speaking about Let Her Speak rally this Saturday. Vote gold, chase for House." I don't know what the Let Her Speak rally is, but we've got more on this guy.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very libertarian from what little I've gathered from libertarianism from hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, it's
and
very
learning more about it.
It's very
I'm big. Make me large.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the other one. So here's a clip from him on some podcast, Wake Up America show. I don't know, never heard of this.
This guy oozes high tea.
Well, okay, so he is gay. So
okay.
You would think being gay, you would want someone with high testosterone for your partnership because that's what makes you gay, right? I'm not going to do gay math. Sorry. Listen to what he has to say.
Why do you think that the drag queens? Why do you think that the drag queens want to read to children?
Because I think that they are performance artists and they want to be able to have different levels of performance art. It's the same reason as why do the Wiggles sing to children? Because
it's meant for children.
So he gets corrected, but I hate that answer. That is possibly the worst answer out there.
They want to have.
Did you say something?
Oh, I was just going to say, drag artists or whatever you want to call them are not meant for children. I'm assuming the Wiggles is meant for children.
Yes.
I don't know what the Wiggles is, but I'm assuming it's a children's thing.
So just wait.
Have a marketplace to kids.
Chase,
they want to be able to. They want to be
the
able
Wiggles.
to.
The Wiggles is made for children.
Oh.
It's obviously family friendly material. Drag queens are not what you call family friendly kind of entertainment.
Okay, but a man in a dress is what drag is, right?
So a man in a dress. Okay, so he just established the Wiggles is made for kids. Drag queens are not made for kids. Now he's going to explain why drag is okay for kids. He's going to start off with the man in the dress thing. Let me.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a man in a dress, but still.
That's 99% of drag is a man in a dress. Or a man in nothing. With big ass makeup.
Is what drag is, right? Let's just be real. A man in a dress or a woman in a suit is what drag is. Mm-hmm. That is not inherently sexual.
A man in a dress or a woman in a suit is not inherently sexual. Is it sexy? No. But is there something sexual to it? Possibly. There could be. Why is a man wearing a dress?
Yeah. And why do they need an audience of children?
Is inherently sexual drag. And you're not going to convince me. I mean, I'm not going to defend otherwise. There absolutely is. But there's also the ability to perform as a man in a wig without being sexual. And that is what.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he's not wrong, but why does it need to be around children?
What this is, and I guarantee you, if you act like I said, I went for myself because I was like, why are there people protesting this thing? I want to see what this drag.
Like this guy's never been to a fucking drag show. Come on.
Drag queen story time is myself, and I want to see what it is. And nothing sexual was going on. And I think that is the truth for 99% of this. And I think
would you take your kids to a drag queen story hour? Or would you drop them off at a drag queen story hour? And
I
And
don't think
just-
that's what happens. Most of the time, the parents are right there with the kids. But
I'm asking you, would you drop your kids off at a drag queen story hour and come back an hour later?
I mean, would you drop your kids off at a movie? Yeah.
This is so he thinks it's okay for drag queens as long as they're not being sexual, right? Like he's all the one he went to wasn't sexual, and he thinks that that's okay for kids. And he thinks it's because drag queens should be allowed to have that kind of market. Why? Why do they need that kind of market? Now, this is where his libertarianism comes in, and it's like, well, everyone should have access to everything. What purpose does this suit for children? What purpose does this fulfill for children?
My answer is indoctrination.
I don't see what children get out of a man in a dress with crazy makeup on his face is important for children outside of what's that desensitizing them, making them more
Normalizing it.
normalizing it like when the kid watches their first rated R movie, right? Like a lot of shit kind of like starts breaking down at that moment as far as watching movies go, right? Maybe you don't remember that, but
It depends on the movie. 'Cause
Well,
some movies are much less R than others.
right, I would say it's an actually violent rated R movie.
A hard R movie?
RoboCop. Yes, a hard R movie. Thank you.
The movie type of hard R, not the Linus Tech Tips
Yes.
type of hard R.
Not the Linus Tech Tips or the Stellar Blade hard R. But it desensitizes them to shenanigans going on in the world. It's there's no purpose except for just grabbing a little bit of that innocence. I don't see it otherwise.
Yeah.
Because it's just about exposure. It's literally about exposing your kids to a lifestyle that's meant to be in the bar.
Yeah.
This is the Libertarian presidential nominee.
Yeah, I always thought those undercover stories I've heard about, family friendly drag shows that are at a bar. That sounds like an oxymoron if I ever heard one.
Yeah. Well, and that's where it all started out. Keep it at the bar. Keep it at the bar. It's fine in the bar. You know what? And every once
18
in a while,
and up.
yeah,
Or 21 and up since it's a
21
bar.
and up, and there's some bars that are 18 and up. There's different places, whatever. But and occasionally you get to go out in a parade. I think that's fine. Whatever. Now, granted, some of the shit that happens in those parades as of late needs to get toned back down. There's no reason to have nude people on bicycles. It's retarded. Now I'm not saying there should be laws against it, but I'm saying we should have some fucking classiness, people.
Yeah, just whenever I see all these shenanigans, it reminds me of the clip from Family Guy of what's his name? The pervy neighbor, Quagmire, his dad, because his dad is trans, and he's at a bar, and the bartender's like, "I'm sorry, man, there's no phones at the bar." He's like, "Oh, I'm trans." He's like, "Oh, well, in that case, do whatever the hell you want." So true.
Oh, that I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trans. Oh, in that case, just do whatever the hell you want.
Oh, never mind.
Laws don't apply to you anymore since you're trans. It's like,
go. Oh, need to kill that guy. So now I've got another clip of Chase Oliver, or Oliver Chase, whatever his name is.
we got two first names.
This is him on the border.
Hey folks, Chase Oliver here, candidate for president with the Libertarian Party, and I am in Nogales, Arizona, and behind this fence and razor wire is Nogales, Mexico. Actually has the exact same name. This is the same city, just two different countries. Nogales, Arizona, Nogales, Mexico. And I'm here because I want to break some myths about immigration in this country. There's a lot of things that statists try to sell you as ideas that are actually nothing more than scare tactics or false statistics and things that aren't true. And so let's talk about this. First, if you ask people who live here or know the community here, people who are coming to this country just want to work for the most part. They are not seeking to take our welfare.
The legal ones, exactly. He total sounds like a fucking Democrat right now because he's obfuscating the two of them together.
Not
obfuscate, but the other one where he puts them together.
Yeah, I just blanked on the word, but yeah, it starts with the C. Conflating the two.
Conflating, yes, he's conflating the two together like a disingenuous prick.
Curious.
In fact,
I know you're in Arizona. How far are you from this place? If you don't have to answer that if you don't want to.
Well, I mean, curious. Phoenix is a rather large area. I'm not the only person who's 3 to 4 hours away from the border.
Okay, I'm just curious.
It might even be longer. It might be 5 or 6. I've never gone. Got no bit. I hate going to Tucson. Tucson is a shithole. I can't imagine it getting any better any further south.
You're 3 times more likely to go into a welfare program as a native-born citizen than as a migrant.
They're just putting them on there right now, and I don't know how true that is.
What was it? As a native-born citizen versus basically an illegal, is that what he was saying?
Well, let's roll it back.
Why are illegals on a welfare program? That's more of our tax dollars going to illegals. That's what I'm gathering from.
Well, yeah. Who is he even talking about? So let's go back to see what he said.
False statistics and things that aren't true. And so let's talk about this. First, if you ask people who live here or know the community here, people who are coming to this country just want to work for the most part. They are not seeking to take our welfare. And in fact, you're 3 times more likely to go into a welfare program as a native-born citizen than as a migrant. And so the truth is a lot of these folks are actually.
Yeah. So he's saying, is he even talking about illegal immigration, or is he?
Doesn't seem like it.
Fucking. He's out here virtue signaling, I'm at the border. Let's talk about migrants, but not really talk about the problem, because I believe in open borders, but I'm not going to talk about illegal aliens. I'm going to talk about actual migrants.
What's up, Filter?
Hey, Fractured, what's he saying here? Dropping by real quick. Chat, smash the like button and sub to the channel. Also, they are called Libertarians for a reason, and they are happy to take the whiskey bottle up the butt. Well, I mean, okay. I have a funny feeling I know who that's about. Oh, okay. Let's try. We've got another 2 minutes of this.
No joy.
Working. They use a fake social security number because they don't have documentation, so they pay into the system, and they never get those benefits back. And so when we're
wait.
What the heck happened with the audio there? That was weird.
Yeah, it all just shifted over.
Yeah, it was coming through
as a migrant. And so the truth is a lot of these folks are actually working. They use a fake social security number because they don't have documentation.
So he is talking about illegals, because he just said these people are usually working and they use a fake social security number.
Welfare program.
I'm assuming that if you come here legally, you get a social security number. That would, right? That's a safe assumption.
Yeah. You get like a work visa and all that stuff, and the government knows how to get their money from you. So let's see how he breaks this down.
As a native-born citizen, as a migrant. And so the truth is a lot of these folks are actually working. They use a fake social security number because they don't have documentation, so they pay into the system, and they never get those benefits back. And so when we're talking about,
they're not supposed to be here.
If you don't have a social security number, you shouldn't be getting any benefits.
You know what? I think I get it. There's no such thing as an illegal anymore. That's what this is. And so everyone should just be allowed to come here That's what that's
Does he have one of those signs that says no person is illegal in his front yard?
that's why we're confused, because we still see illegal and legal, and he's like, make it all legal. Anyone could come over here and just open up the gates.
Yeah, you
With
can't
that,
have
with that perspective, he is no longer yeah, that's why they're using the phrase undocumented citizen, right?
Yeah,
Well,
we gotta
but so like
change
if
the
he was
language.
actually president, though, he would make them. This wouldn't be a thing anymore, right? I mean, he'd have to go through Congress and all that to change all that, but
yeah, come across the border and you're a legal citizen.
yeah, which I mean, that's essentially what they are now, right? Like they just can't give them papers for some reason. I don't know why they have to put. Well, yeah, so you can come over here. Yeah, how does that work? Anyone can come over. We just keep putting these people up in hotels and in everyone else's homes.
Shut down schools so that they can be used for illegal immigrant housing. Great use for our tax dollars. Yeah, you can't have a country without borders.
I absolutely despise that he has conflated the two of them together,
That's what
the legals and the illegals. And
that's
because
far left
that
tactic.
gives him space to play with a completely different rule book and makes him sound morally superior.
Yeah.
Immigration here, we need to understand this, that these people are just trying to seek a better life. And when you see fences like this, these kinds of things belong more in dystopian totalitarian states like East
F
Germany
off
that
with
would separate
that.
East and
I don't see a problem with vetting who comes in. Look, I vet who comes in my front door.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like a line from I doubt he's the one who came up with it, but there's a line from Tom McDonald's Sons, like something about like whining about a wall, but your house has a fence.
Yeah.
You're just gonna leave your
he's
door
talking about, like,
unlocked and
the White
open
House and
for
shit. Yeah.
for illegals. Just not even illegal, just anybody. It's like, does your house have a door and a lock? Oh, it does. Oh, then shut the hell up about not having a border because you're a freaking hypocrite.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
in West Berlin. These walls prevent commerce. These walls prevent peaceful people from being able to move freely.
No,
They don't. They are
lie.
a encumbrance. And actually they literally don't. People get through anyways. But it's also meant to just be symbolic. It shouldn't have to. You know what? It shouldn't have to exist. We should be able to trust people that they wouldn't go where they don't belong without having the proper ducks in a row, right? I can't go anywhere else in this world without having my ducks in a row.
That's asking a lot.
I know. But I'm just saying, if we really want this utopia, everyone would be responsible for their own shit.
Yeah. In a perfect world.
And that's what libertarianism is supposed to be about.
About and spend their money or their labor or their time either in Mexico or here in the United States. And I think it's wrong to be denying anybody the ability to move freely unencumbered without much difficulty. This is why we need Ellis Island
off. This guy's a freaking
style of immigration. You should be able to come through a port of entry. One of these, there's a port of entry right here behind me. You should be able to come right through there and give your name, basically do a basic criminal background check, and get in here to be able to come here to work or visit or do whatever you want to do. And so I'm going to keep fighting for more peaceful immigration and to tear down walls just like this one behind me. First off, if you travel just a few miles out of town, there is no wall, there's no fence. So what good does it do to develop this?
Wait, what
good does it do? Oh my God,
for more peaceful immigration and to tear down walls just like this one behind me. First off, if you travel just a few miles out of town, There is no wall. There's no fence. So what good does it do? Set up this scary razor wire covered structure, other than to try to put fear and intimidation into voters and to the people, and let the government have more and more control over our lives and the lives of free people who just want to come here and put down their roots and start their American dream. And so,
do it legally.
Freer and more open immigration, so that Nogales, Arizona.
I don't. What's stopping them from doing it legally? Answer me that. This guy's a joke.
And he's like, I don't want a simple background check.
How many of the people coming across the border would even pass a background check?
I don't want a simple background check. I want a legitimate background check. And yeah, and that's another very good question. How many people would actually pass the background check? That is a damn good question.
I'm guessing not many.
And so do you turn them around if they didn't bring their ID and everything? Like, I don't know.
Yes.
It to me, it sounds like he's asking people to cross the border legally, but he likes conflating the illegals and the legals like they're the same fucking thing, but they're not. He's like, if everyone did this, that's what he's saying. He's saying, yeah, bring your ID and everything. We'll check you out, and then we'll let you in once you pass. We're going to put you in the cage for 2 hours, run the background check like you just bought a gun, and we'll get back to you. We'll let you carry on, right? So that's he is promoting legal immigration,
which basically no one has a problem with.
But he is conflating the illegal issues with the legal issues,
as do most leftists.
Like a disingenuous prick. What a weird stance to try and take to dethrone Joe Biden.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the Libertarians don't like Biden, but yet basically everything this dude said is like right out of a Biden playbook.
Yeah. All right, 20 more seconds. Let's see how he wraps this shit up.
And Nogales, Mexico, can be the sister cities they should be without having all this razor wire and fencing put up. And if you want to join a movement that treats immigrants with respect and decency and doesn't try to demonize them and use scare tactics to scare Americans into
conflating the
more
two
and more
again,
of our rights away, then you need to join the campaign.
Thank you, Fractured. Oh, you think the wall is scary? Has he not seen what the cartels do to the freaking tourists? Yeah, what are the cartels doing literally just on the other side of that wall to not just the tourists, but anyone that looks at them funny?
Yeah, we don't need a wall. Let them do that here. They just want to do that to, see their American dream come to life. They're just honest, hard-working people.
Take down the wall. Let them all come over through anywhere that they want. Because he's talking about, he even said they should come through this port of entry, which it's not like we've got a whole, like a wall of port of entries, right? Like that would be silly. Where you just got just port of entry, port of entry, port of entry. Like this retarded. So we're not done with him. We're not done with him.
So where does this guy live?
I don't
know what state he lives in.
Let's pull up the Google machine. Chase.
Yeah, it's Chase Oliver.
Chase Oliver.
Let's see your state of residence.
Nashville, Tennessee is where he was born. He's 38 years old.
Yeah, so I'm not looking for an address. I just want to know what state he lives in.
Yeah, home state. What up?
Hello. I'm late.
Do I hear a shaka?
That's me.
What's
We're
up,
talking about
dude?
Chase Oliver.
Oh God.
Try
You
to
just
find
missed
his
all the
home
good
state.
stuff.
There's lots of coping libertarians. Even like the people who don't like Trump, libertarians are just very like I hate everything right now. Like,
How do you cope on this?
I don't know. It's like,
How
dude,
the
you don't
fuck do you cope on
understand.
this? This is
I
an
don't
Antifa
know.
motherfucker.
I know. They're like, well, people, fuck this guy, but then the people are saying, well, fuck it, I'll vote Trump. And it's just like, what else are you gonna do? There are no options. Like, you hate him that much that you refuse to be like, well, fuck it. Like, why is that like a negative connotation? If you're a libertarian, you say, fuck it, Trump's the only one. Also, most of these libertarians don't register in their party because they hate the party. So that's also the problem.
Hi, that's me. I registered no party. I didn't even know about libertarianism until after Trump was elected, and that was only because I was telling someone my political views, and they were like, "Oh, you're a libertarian," and then I kind of wanted to punch him.
Yeah.
Because I just don't want to be in a box.
Yeah.
And after watching all of this shenanigans, I was right. I don't want to be in a box.
It's like, I don't know what I am, but I'm definitely not whatever that guy is.
I'm not that guy. Yep.
Well, they're
wild.
so confused. What the libertarians did this weekend was make sure that no one knew what the fuck they were about.
That's what it's always been, dude. It's always been that way, dude. A lot of libertarians are just kind of Democrats that don't like taxes.
So yeah,
they seem to be not very in line with each other party. Not that a lot of the, not that the Republicans are very in line with each other either.
No,
but let's take.
They definitely seem at odds with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Take the famous libertarian topic of abortion. They're split.
It's
split on it.
It's how you view it, bro.
And it's because it's whether you see it as a life or not.
I don't know how you can't. Like
right. So essentially it breaks down to religion almost once again, like we're back in the fucking 90s.
But so many people are like, you don't need a book to tell you that an unborn baby is a human life. And it's just like, oh, really? A lot of people disagree.
Yeah.
Because I appreciate the like atheist perspective of like, it's just a way. It's just a fancy way that they carry down like, morals is religion. That's all it is. It's just how they pass down morals. I agree with the morals, but I don't believe in the spaghetti monster, yada, yada, yada. I hate that stuff. But I can agree where they're coming from. At least they respect it instead of they're actively trying to like twist it and run away from it. The Libertarian Party is very silly, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's.
I'm shocked. I don't know. It's so weird. I do think the political spectrum is falling apart. And I think RFK plays a big part in that because he is very popular and he does not fit any of the boxes to platform on. As much as I don't like him, he has a legitimate like base and case to like run for presidency. There needs to be like a legit independent way to just serve office without having to do these parties. Like it's like, well, we need a 3-party system. I'm like, I'm really tired of just the party system in general because all it is just they fund their own people in, and that's how they control.
And they lock you out. They lock you out of.
They lock you out.
They lock you out of the elections. They lock you off the ballots.
Yep.
If you don't go through all this shit, yeah.
I forgot.
I don't think I don't know when all these rules were made, but I don't think that's what freaking these people had in mind when they came up with the Constitution and all that. I don't think that's what they had in mind.
I'm pretty sure town hall was just like a free place for everyone to like do their platforms, right? And I don't think you should be able to privately or maybe publicly even fund a campaign when it's like you're supposed to just speak on the taxpayers' public property, right? Town hall, and everybody voices where they want to have their platform on. I don't know when the funding stuff really came into play. But I forgot somebody was mentioning like, yeah, this is like, can't someone just like be their own person and fund a campaign and just, have their own platform? And it's like, do you know how much a campaign costs? What normal person would you're a billion, you're a successful businessman, right? Why would you waste your own money just to do a job where everyone hates you. Why would you do that? Like, it's just unrealistic to think it's that easy.
I don't know. Ask Trump.
I was just thinking that too.
Oh, because they came after him because they kissed the ground that he walked on, and then they turned against him, and then it got personal. And I also think there is a bit of an ego just for running for office,
Yes.
like in general, and it's a good ego that most people agree with. Because if any of us were to run for office, it'd be on ego. Like, nope, this is the right way to go. I hate bureaucracy. I hate government, and I want to see it, like, collapse. Not collapse. I want to see it, like, get pegged down to a proper level. And we would do that based on an ego. So you're not going to get away from that regardless.
I've thought about it,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't want to.
I've won class president a bunch of times, yes. Maybe it's that easy.
I'm not good enough at whoring myself.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember in a speech class I had in college, they're like, "All right, give a speech on why you'd want to be president." I'm like, I don't want to be president. I mean, I think I'd do a good job at it, but I don't want to do it.
I did it. I basically I was I forgot what I was. I think I was a Republican, and I was just like, "They're taking your money," and everyone voted.
They
for me.
took your money.
They took your money, and they're
your
like,
jobs.
"Yeah, they took your job,"
They took your jobs.
and they all voted for me. I'm like, "Oh, is that easy?" You would think it'd be easy like that in IRL.
It's like in Family Guy. 9/11. Yay!
9/11. Yeah. That's
Okay,
exactly
so-
how politics works, though.
I've been watching Weeds,
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
and
I
I
never
think I saw
watched
the
it.
pilot of that show.
I'm on season 2.
I thought it was a rom-com.
No, it's just a weird.
It's about a bunch of like
It's like
old
tone.
women.
No, it's basically like a more PG version of Breaking Bad, right?
Kinda, yeah. It's got some funny parts. That's why I was watching it. Kevin Nealon's hilarious. But like there's this one episode where like the youngest kid, he's in debate class, and the debate that he's doing is popular vote versus electoral college. And so he's the first one to go, and it's just him versus this other chick, and so he's the first one to go, and he stands up, and all he does is say George Bush, and then he sits down, and he was defending the popular vote side of things, and the other girl just forfeited.
George Bush. I'm shocked he didn't get punched in the face.
I
Are
found
we
that very,
talking
Oh, yeah, what year was it,
senior or
actually?
junior?
well, this was when Bush was in office.
Never.
So we're talking about
never
W,
mind. Yeah,
right?
we hate him then.
Yeah. W. Yeah. George Bush
Yeah.
Jr.
Then I would have punched him in the face.
Yeah, no, they hated the first Bush too. It's just the rhetoric built up through each Republican president.
Mm-hmm.
Not that George Bush Jr. was a great president either. Like fuck
No
them all.
way. They're all the same.
So
They all
Anyway.
made fake wars to go fight in and then got elected based off of that.
here's a tweet from Chase Oliver from 2020. He says, "So I'm having a Thanksgiving of less than 10 people, and we will be masked inside. And when we eat, since masks have to come off, we have spacing happening. It's not impossible to be responsible. Limit the size, wear a mask. When not eating, space yourself accordingly.
What a cock.
Toe gaff.
Toe gaff.
Big ass toe gaff.
I'll let you say it.
I said it right, I think.
No, I think you said it wrong. I say it right.
Toe fag.
Yeah, that's right. That's how you say it.
That's
I don't think you were there.
Very
I met-
libertarian of him.
Gosh, I just don't understand what libertarianism means to them.
Someone's got a very loud snoring doggo.
Me, sorry. I'll mute
But-
myself.
No worries. But yeah, it's like, aren't they the ones that are supposed to be not exactly anarchists, but very much, leave me alone, let me do whatever the hell I want?
Yeah, well, if a private residence or a company says you can't you can't come in my coffee shop unless you put a mask on. Like, you have every right to do that. But
Yeah,
they are unable to look at anyone else's perspective than theirs. That makes them not libertarian.
I don't think that last tweet reflected anything on his libertarianism or anything, but what it did reflect on is that he's a fucking bitch.
It's the same thing. Like, be respectful of others. It's like, no, you're what's the word? You're complying.
they're
You're forcing
LARPing,
people to comply.
as
You're not
Slither
actually
says.
freedom loving. Yeah, you're LARPing.
So I actually don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly, Duke. Nothing says libertarianism like bowing down to the government mandates
Exactly.
based on faulty data. And like he was saying earlier, he was basically saying the exact same thing I said earlier about wonder if this guy locks the door to his house.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Exactly
yep,
what I
love
basically
that.
exactly what I said before you got here, Shock.
Yep, that's
This
a
guy's
good,
whining, complaining about
question.
this wall, but it's like, do you have a door on your house? Do you lock it? Do you have a
Mhm.
fence on your yard? Then you do. Well, then shut the hell up, you hypocrite.
Yep.
Now I'm
Yep.
trying to find this last tweet. There's another tweet. Of
He
him.
was saving lives.
Here it is.
He was saving grandma. If you're that worried about it, then don't gather at all.
Yeah. So this is how libertarian he is. Bye, real Donald Trump. Glad you're banned.
Oh, very
Oh,
libertarian.
Sorry,
my
not sorry.
God.
Accountability, 25th Amendment now, January 8th, 2021.
Jesus Christ, dude.
And wokeness. Rip the Libertarian Party.
A libertarian in
First response.
favor of censorship.
Yep.
That sounds like an
Yeah.
oxymoron to me, from what little I've gathered about libertarianism.
Right. I don't understand.
And now the meme.
And
I
this guy is
freaking love
the
this meme.
their nominee. That's just baffles me. I don't get it.
It's still a joke. Libertarianism is still a joke.
Actually, I've got a few memes. So here's this one. How the Libertarian Party is having a moment. How it started, how
Oh
it's going.
God.
How fucking disappointing is that?
Very.
We need more
And
of
then the other
Javier
meme is
Milei.
afuera, efragget.
This is why I think so. A few people, everyone's been disagreeing with me, but I wonder if like this election might not be as highly voted as 2020. I feel like a lot of people might not vote, and not that that really hurts Trump, but I think it's going to be less than it has been. I think a lot of people are just going to hate both Trump and Biden and just not vote, which I think is probably better off.
Well, but you know what? I think this movement here, this thing that happened,
Mhm.
I think a lot of people are like, oh well, now it's obvious where I'm going.
That's the F it. I'll vote Trump libertarian, but a lot of libertarians are kind of sticking that phrase onto them as a negative connotation. But those people who are libertarians hate what the Libertarian Party is doing, also hate Trump. A lot of those people just aren't going to vote. I don't think. I think you're going to get less people.
Yeah, there's this as well.
I just think it's it's just a possibility. It's just kind of something I'm thinking about.
When your vote is revealed to be less than toilet paper, why bother? I'm one of the people that my entire life I don't know if it was worth the toilet paper to ever begin with.
Yep.
The only reason I ever voted was because what if it does work?
Mm-hmm. It's hard to criticize the idea of anti-voting because you had to anti-vote Hillary Clinton. That's how I felt. I wasn't necessarily a big Trump guy. I was just like in high school, I was just covering the election. I'm like, wow, this woman is crazy,
Yeah,
and she's not gonna win.
I was anti-voting in 2016, and I didn't even vote for Trump. I voted for Gary Johnson.
Yeah.
But I was definitely anti-voting because all of a sudden there's this person that showed up in my life that was like socialism. And I was like, oh fuck.
Oh no, you're real. Yeah.
I have to do something now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Start the purge.
I vote like like I said, I think on our very first episode, like I didn't even start following politics literally at all until like late into Trump's first term.
Okay.
I voted for Trump in 2016 because there's no way in hell I was going to vote for Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's still semi-early. Some people are barely getting it in 2021, bro.
I didn't know anything about him. I'm just like, just not Hillary. But it turned out to be a good thing. And seeing what he did and what he's been doing since being out of office, like, I'm like, freaking Trump all the way. Let's go.
I have so many people in my personal life that voted Hillary and Biden.
Oh my God. I know people who are ashamed that they did. At least they're ashamed.
Yeah. I don't understand how you can legitimately still be proud to be like a Biden supporter in this day and age. Like, see like people with like Biden stickers on their cars and stuff. Like, how are you not taking that off and you're not just like ashamed of yourself?
I don't see that many, honestly, and I live in like
I don't see many of those. What I see the most often is people in their car by themselves with their mask on.
God,
everything I need to know about them.
Same.
Every day I see that. Every day I see people in their cars alone with masks on. Still
insane.
But I mean, I am here in California. What do you expect?
I still see it, but definitely not every day.
I see it, bro.
And so, you know what? I even see it I almost see at least one at the grocery store down the street from me. Every time I go in there, there's usually one. And that guy, that comedian nailed it. He's like, well, I'm glad everyone knows who you're voting for.
Yeah. I don't know. Static, I think you know, I don't know about Shock, but I've spent probably half this month in Texas for work this month. And I think I still saw, even in Texas, I saw a couple of people. Maybe I don't remember if I saw anybody in their car, but I do absolutely remember seeing a couple of people walking down the street with their masks on. I was like, wow, even in Texas.
I only see it in I work in an Asian community. So at least it's that. I see mostly Asians do it.
That's a little more normal since that's kind of they've been doing that since before COVID.
That's a partial culture, and they'd wear it if they were actually fucking sick.
Yes.
But Seth, to answer your question, the first 2 weeks I was in Texas, I was a little bit outside San Antonio. And then the second 2 weeks I was in Texas, or week. No, I was a week at each place, not 2 weeks. I was about 30 minutes east of Austin.
You know what? Okay, so Austin makes sense. San Antonio doesn't make sense. But what Brad is saying here, mainly here, it's very elderly or black people or fat white chicks.
Oh, when
that's because they hide their face.
I spent a lot of time in the airport doing a lot of flying lately, and I did see in the airports I saw more people. But yeah, it was funny seeing these huge fat asses with their mask on. Yeah, you're a beacon of health. I can tell you're really worried about your health.
Yeah.
I remember that was
like the people who get huge amounts of food and a Diet Coke. I'm fat, but I'm going to wear a mask because.
Yep. Well, that was like the BuzzFeed thing where they're interviewing people and they're like, well, I kind of liked wearing the mask because they were like hiding their face. That was why.
The porn bots are back.
Good.
They left me alone for a few months. So there's the new Libertarian candidate for president. They made it real easy for me to make my decision on who I was going to be voting for. They made it super easy. They nominated a someone who believes in the communist culture revolution is what all I see him promoting.
So, sort of switching gears, of staying on the same topic. When Trump spoke at the Libertarian convention the other day, there was one line. He said something about somebody who, and his name I had never heard of before. I don't remember what he said about them, but it sounded like it was something that he would put in there specifically to appeal to the Libertarians. Like, I don't know if it was like maybe he was putting someone on his cabinet.
So he's talking about. So there was. Are you talking about the pardon or he did say
Trump pardon or something about his cabinet, but he mentioned
Trump
the
did say
name
that he will have a libertarian in his cabinet.
Okay, no, it was he mentioned a specific name is what I'm thinking of. It must have been a pardon.
He did say
then.
Kash Patel, but he didn't say the. So he said a specific name for the pardon for Ross Ulbricht, who we'll go into in a little bit.
Okay. I don't remember if that's the name, but I remember mentioning a name. I'm like, I have no idea who that is.
He promised a libertarian cabinet space, though.
Okay.
So he's like Beauty and the
Kash
Beast.
Patel a libertarian?
Yes.
He's very fucking pro-military. Bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is why I don't claim anything. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat.
I
not
tried.
Libertarian. I have conservative values.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in a box. Don't put me in a box. I'm fucking Chris. Man.
That's the biggest thing was the abortion and like pedophilia, where I was just like, I like libertarianism. Oh yeah, age of consent. That's not, freedom inducing, because I think minors should be treated differently than adults. So it's like, wow, I'm not a libertarian. You're automatically boxed a conservative.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean anything right of Mao, right? Like
yeah.
So let's go over the
all
Trump
right.
stuff. I've got the precursor to the Trump speech. So this is something that took place before Trump got going. They were having a little I don't know, town hall or something. And this is a video that Laura Loomer caught. I have another video of the exact same thing, but I'm going to play that up for more of like dramatic purposes because it's funny. Anyways, let's hear what they've got to say.
Number 3, question of privilege.
Oh my god!
I fucking hate that.
I remember this shit. Oh my god.
Madam Chair, delegate from Connecticut, Dan Reel. I have a time-sensitive motion that pertains to RFK and Donald Trump's speaking time, and the motion was submitted hours in advance in writing, and we have filibustered our way out of avoiding a motion co-sponsored by 43 delegates that everyone wants to hear and debate.
Mr. Dosbach.
Oh my God. Point of order.
She just like ignored
Your point of order is not a point of order. Is that Mr. Reel?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it's not a point of order, and I'm going to continue with.
You're going to alienate 43 co-sponsoring delegates.
You're going
The media sees you doing it right now.
Mr. Dosbach?
Oh my God.
No,
Yes.
because the vote, it's 29 people who.
Miss
requested-
McGardle, I'd like to propose that we go tell Donald Trump to go fuck himself. Away from here. Yes!
That was my motion too.
Fantastic.
Jesus Christ!
I need some context. What the heck is going on
They're
here? I have
libertarians.
no idea what this is.
They're doing some sort of town hall thing. I have no idea. But let's look at the other angle of who was at the mic. And you just get a clearer picture here.
Mhm.
It sounds like you've seen this too. Shock.
I think so.
I'd like to propose that we go tell Donald Trump to go fuck himself.
Here, here.
Oh, that's what he looks like. Oh my God, he looks like he's retarded.
He sounded retarded. I thought you were making when he first started talking on the other clip. I thought that was you making a retarded voice.
Well, I was, but that's just because he sounded retarded. He also looks retarded. Like
He sounds vaccinated.
He sounds vaccinated. Yeah, I did not see that coming.
He looks vaccinated.
He does.
He's got the fedora. He's a total milady, dude.
God. He looks like dude. He looks like a
Fucking
an
brony.
NPC from GTA 5.
Oh, but dude said he's even got Shock's pineapple shirt on.
Hey, take that off him right now. He's not cool enough.
Was it a pineapple shirt?
That's a bluey shirt.
It's a bluey shirt.
That's pedo vibes right there.
What's the over/under on this guy's a brony?
Oh, total brony.
Please
I'm
have.
worried about other things.
I don't know if I want to hope he has kids or not.
This is the guy that was all like, point of order.
The media sees you lying. Media don't lie. You lie. Look at it, yay!
And then there's this guy in the back.
Look at him.
You spear the Tardo.
Yeah, you see that's Tardo right there.
Look at it, yay.
Look at him, yay.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
PDF file. Yeah. These are libertarians. I never looked into them. So Biden came out and had things to say about Trump being there.
At the Libertarian convention?
Yep. And everyone, and
what bumbling statements did he have to say?
it was the Biden Harris HQ account.
Oh, so someone on his behalf.
Yeah. But it's their campaign account, right? So they came out and said a seething and unpopular Trump lashes out and belittles the audience as they boo him.
Oh, conveniently
How?
So right. So I've got that clip. It's talking about the 3%.
I know.
And you know what?
He's not.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
we'll
the
get into
3%?
So I'll play that next. But I just want to point out, and this is what everyone has been saying about this. Vivek's not the only one, but he goes, "Shame on Biden. Real men face people who disagree with them instead of hiding in their bunkers."
Yep.
Biden wasn't there. Biden didn't come talk to these people to try and woo them.
Well, hold on. He's gonna do a debate that's pre-recorded
with no audience.
With
like
no
a real
audience, dude.
Like a real man.
How are you a man of the people? This dude sat in a room with people who hate him and got them to mostly cheer. Like, that is impressive.
Is it okay? So let's watch the clip. You guys tell me if it's belittling or if he is.
I didn't think there was anything belittling,
or if he is.
But I like
ribbing
filter.
them. You know,
them too.
It's a fucking playful ribbing. Like it's.
I think he took it all in stride. He did. I thought he did great.
I thought, yeah.
The Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for president of the United States. Whoa.
Whoa.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice. Yes.
Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win.
No,
Thank you, D-Roy.
That's hilarious.
No,
All in
only
jest.
do that if you want.
No.
What's that?
Oh, it was all in jest. It was.
Oh yeah, here it comes. Yeah, here it comes. I mean, they just booed the guy. They just booed the guy.
Want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years.
Okay.
The reasons for doing so, policy and politics, are as solid as the Hope Diamond.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the 3%? Is that how much their voter base is? Is 3% of the voters?
Yeah, that's how much they vote in the. That's how many points they get in the elections.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
The only thing that was
a little bit of
like
an attack, but
disrespectful. Well, I mean, just like pissed people off was the ATF endorsement. Like, that's the only thing people had a right to be angry about. People who actually take the party seriously.
Fractured, I should have had you on tonight. I was trying to find a non-Trump sycophant for the.
Oh yeah. Fracture doesn't like Trump. He's dead to me.
He's too.
How dare he?
It's too late for his ass.
I know.
We can't be friends anymore.
Yes, we can't. We're not friends anymore. That's right.
I asked Hora Amarada, and she's actually got another show that's about to start right now. And that's why she couldn't do it. Then I asked Samuel.
Been on for a little while.
Oh, has she been on for a little while? I don't know her. It's random for that show. I think whenever they get to it. But so there was that, the 3%, and then this was another thing that I found interesting that he had to say.
Duke Fracture loves Trump, or hates Trump, but loves Kathleen Kennedy.
Disavow.
Oh my God, disavow.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard Fracture talk a lot of good stuff about Kathleen Kennedy.
He loves her.
And you know what? He really, really loves Dave Filoni.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, who doesn't? He's just like the second coming of George Lucas.
I think he sent me an Amazon link to a hat so that he could look like Dave Filoni. So he's really excited to get that.
Does the hat come with the lisp?
She rocks the power suit. So this was something else interesting that came up, and the way he says this is interesting. There's a part of me that he has no idea what he's talking about, but he's just saying. I think he's just saying what people want to hear, which isn't what he's saying is the correct thing to say. But yeah.
I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody to the nation's 50 million crypto holders. I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Is crypto like a big thing for libertarians?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't track my money. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I like
That
Bitcoin.
That makes sense.
That pulls it that plays into the next part that we'll go over. We're gonna go over the guy who he's talking about pardon.
The one I was mentioning.
Yeah.
And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency.
That should be everyone should be happy about that.
Yeah.
That's not a libertarian thing. That should be everyone.
I think that is very important. But like, you know, Trump knows all about crypto. He's got NFTs.
Yes.
No, that's right.
Unfortunately, I wish those. Yeah.
Was that the end of the clip?
Yeah, that was the end of the clip.
Yep. Getting rid of.
Thought we were gonna clip. Thought we had a clip.
I'm curious how he's gonna prevent the government from like actually making a new currency in the future, though. You know what I mean? It's the same reason why he didn't ban abortion. He just, got rid of Roe v. Wade because it's hard to reverse that kind of a decision.
Well, was reversing Roe v. Wade, did that really have anything to do with him?
Yeah, it's really the judges that he
got 3 judges in.
You got 3 judges in that all kind of had that opinion.
Okay.
More freedom and constitutionally minded judges.
I don't know about that Barrett bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I liked her at first,
but I don't know how he can permanently prevent the government from making a coin or something like that in the future.
I don't think you can because once Biden was in, he just undid everything Trump did.
So that's the thing about Trump, is that he's smart enough to know, hey, like this is more of a permanent solution. And then the ones that aren't permanent solutions, let me voice them loud and proud, It's like, well, how are you actually going to do that?
You guys are aware that we're all about to be taken so hard on taxes this year?
Yeah, dude.
Because the Trump cuts ended. And they're not doing anything to put anything back in.
Oh, God.
Ended, like
so Trump's tax plan ended this year. So we're on a new tax thing, and it's just rolling back to what it was before Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yay is indeed.
So
we don't
we're paying them.
They don't already get
ready to pay more
from the freaking government.
More.
Oh, that's right. When he gets into office, he'll be president forever.
Forever.
So I wanted to talk about this a lot more. He mentioned he was going to pardon Russ Ulbricht. You guys know who Russ Ulbricht is?
That's what I was hoping you were going to tell me, because I'm curious.
So we'll watch this clip here.
On day 1, I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht.
Day 1.
To a sentence of time served.
Okay. Yeah, everyone seemed very excited about that. So I'm like, that must be a good thing.
Ross Ulbricht did nothing wrong. Ross Ulbricht going to jail should be a big problem for everyone. So that's them cheering for him and everything.
Yeah,
And so
so
oddly enough, Spike Cohen put out a great breakdown on Ross Ulbricht and why he was arrested. So we're going to read that.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it says that this is Ross Ulbricht, and then there's a picture of him down here. That's Ross. 10 years ago today, Ross was arrested for creating a website. If the government gets their way, he'll die in prison. Ross is serving a double life sentence plus 40 years again for creating a website.
Okay.
If that sounds ridiculous and infuriating to you, keep reading. It gets worse.
Nothing about what the website was about.
Hold on. We're getting there.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Hold on. Why is my thing? I've got audio somewhere.
Your audio is sounding really weird.
Sorry, all of a sudden the video started playing in the background.
Okay.
Okay. So Ross created a website called Silk Road, which he designed to be a free market, secure, anonymous marketplace. It used Bitcoin for payment and utilized a system called Tor, which allowed buyers and sellers to access it anonymously without any trace. An avid libertarian, Ross prohibited anything being sold on Silk Road that violated the non-aggression principle. This includes stolen items, counterfeit, fraudulent items, CP, assassinations, etc. A devout believer in nonviolence, Ross also prohibited the sale of weapons. Many items that were sold on the Silk Road were legal, and a third-party study of the site inventory by Carnegie Mellon University concluded that the drugs most commonly sold were small amounts of cannabis. Most importantly, Ross was not convicted for selling, buying, or being in the proximity to any of the items that were sold on Silk Road, legal or illegal. He was convicted for what others did on the site.
Interesting. That's very bogus. So that's basically like why there's Section 230 for social media. I'm assuming this means there's nothing like that for buying and selling of goods.
So, do you understand what he did with the Silk Road? What he actually created?
Yeah, an untraceable marketplace.
He created a marketplace that the government can't tell what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, there's nothing illegal about that.
But they don't like that.
And they arrested him anyway.
Because they can't control it.
Yeah.
They can't manipulate it.
Yep.
And they go on to say, imagine if Elon or Zuck or any of the owners of web platforms were charged for what other people did on them, right? Like, I mean, they'd all be in jail for CP.
Oh, yeah.
They'd all be in jail for CP. And he didn't even have that on his website.
Yeah.
On October 2013, Ross was arrested by the FBI and charged with money laundering, conspiracy, computer hacking conspiracy, fake ID trafficking conspiracy, and narcotics trafficking. Ross did not actually launder money, hack computers, or sell illegal items himself. These charges were based on what users listed on the site. And actually, this right here, this is done on all the platforms right now.
Yep.
Maybe not Twitter, but for sure happening on YouTube. And you know what? I wonder what's
actually Twitter has links to Facebook. That's how they do it.
Well, I was gonna say I wonder what Facebook Marketplace has got on it.
No, Twitter links to Facebook.
Okay,
that's how Twitter does it.
You know, I've had a real interesting realization. So I don't Facebook, haven't Facebooked in forever, right?
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Facebook Marketplace has become the Yellow Pages.
Oh, dude, Facebook Marketplace is legit, bro.
Facebook, but I don't just mean for like used goods or anything. I mean for like services and shit.
Yeah, arts, mowing your lawn, anything.
Yeah,
dude. It's legit.
And I had no idea. And then it dawned on me.
Twitter needs one. I think Twitter needs one.
Yeah, I've got a friend. She does house cleaning and stuff,
Mhm.
and like it just dawned on me because I was there helping her out and whatnot, and the lady whose house it was, she was talking about how she hires these companies, and I'm like, you're just on Facebook Marketplace. You're just talking to a bunch of women.
That is
These aren't
what
companies. These are just a bunch of women.
Well, no, like that's
Then I
why
realized
people.
that the whole fucking thing shifted.
Mm-hmm. That's why people have Facebook. If it wasn't for Facebook Marketplace, it would be legit dead.
Yeah,
The only thing I've looked at on Facebook in the last 10 plus years is Marketplace. I'll use it occasionally.
It's got me contemplating of like doing Facebook just for that, like not have any.
That's what
friends or
everyone
anything on there,
does.
but just to access that.
If Twitter had a marketplace, people would switch in a minute.
Interesting.
That's what I think. That's
I'd
the
be
only
curious
reason why
what that
people
would
have
look
it.
like. I said I'm curious what that would look like.
Me too, actually.
So we continue. We carry on. Sorry for my tangent there. After his arrest, the prosecution fraudulently alleged that Ross attempted to have several people killed, but never charged him for this at trial. And his supposed victim, Curtis Green, publicly stated that those allegations were false. He is a fervent supporter of Ross. Despite the fact that these false, unproven allegations were never prosecuted, the federal government used them in the media to paint Ross as some kind of violent criminal kingpin. This sounds so familiar.
Whatever do you mean?
I don't know. I just can't quite put my thumb on it. Despite the fact that he was nonviolent, lived a very meager life, living with 3 other roommates in an apartment. He sounds like a freaking tech startup guy all on his own.
Well, yeah, that's
fucking Silicon Valley.
That's what what's it called? That's what an indie private business is, man. So you start mom and pop shops.
The FBI also seized over 144,000 Bitcoin that they found in a shared wallet on Ross's computer, which today is worth over $3.8 billion.
And
another good reason to snag this guy up.
Government just stealing his money. That's effed. When was this Twitter post? Is this recent or is this back?
This was just the other day. This is October. He
Not
must have
that long ago.
Yeah, he must have retweeted it again, and I snagged it.
Okay, but yeah, good to know kind of what time frame this is. So about it, what 10 months?
So yeah, so it would be 11
ago?
years ago now. So during Ross's trial, evidence and testimony showing that multiple people ran the website was banned from beginning discussed at the trial.
Being discussed.
Was banned from being discussed. I haven't heard that one before.
That's dirty.
Ross's defense team was not allowed to cross-examine the prosecution's witness or present their own witnesses.
What? How is that a freaking trial? That's a sham.
Sounding familiar. It's like a judge might have made up a bunch of rules that weren't necessarily real rules. Key exonerating evidence was blocked by the judge. What do they call that? That actually breaks a specific law. They've done this to this happened recently to someone else. It might have been Trump. Where you at, Duke?
Are we? Isn't this just describing the judge on Trump's trial right now?
Sounds perfectly fine to me. Stop opining, you non-lawyers. Okay. So the defense team not allowed to cross-examine the prosecution. Okay. Exonerating evidence was blocked by the judge. Okay. There's that's called something.
How do you remain a judge after that and not get
Brady something or something like that?
Disbarred or
the
whatever.
Prosecution was permitted to allege the jury that, and Duke, you have the link. The prosecution was permitted to allege to the jury that Ross had hired hits on people despite never charging him with this or allow. That's a thing too? Like that's called a certain thing that you get to object to. And the jury found Ross guilty on all charges, so he was fucked. The judge sentenced his first-time nonviolent person to double life plus 40 years without parole.
What the F?
And that's how prosecution works in Stalin Soviet Union.
Yeah, it's like just arrest him. We'll figure out something to charge him with later.
This is America, people. This happened in America. And you know what? No one really talked about it.
This is the first I've even heard of this.
And this was
Yeah, I
back in
forgot about him.
2013. Banana Republic bullshit in 2013.
Every single person that was involved with this should be locked up for life.
Yep.
Show me the man, I will find the crime. This is too real.
Yeah, dude. Seriously. Holy crap.
2013 Banana Republic.
Talk about an injustice system.
That's kind of why, like, I don't know. It's all horseshit. There's so much horseshit.
Yeah.
So there's one last topic I wanted to cover. You guys know who Dave Smith is?
I've heard that name a lot, but I don't
Dave.
actually know who that is.
So he's a comedian, libertarian. I don't know which came first.
What you love about him is what you hate about him, because he's awesome, smart, extremely based, but he like contradicts himself. He kind of like he's too cool to have like a correct opinion sometimes, and he'll walk shit back for some really retarded reason.
Did you see the Viva Frey tweet?
Yeah,
I did not like that tweet.
I didn't either.
Okay, good.
I did not,
because Viva Frey's not wrong, but in the way that he showed that was absolutely miscalculated. He had a point to bring, but he brought it in a childish way that also neglected some other things.
Yeah.
And it was more of like an own type thing. It wasn't a fucking like he I was onto this before the Viva Frey tweet, and let me show you how to do it, Viva. So we've got Dave Smith here. He's at the podium before Trump's going up, and he's got something. He's got a message for the crowd. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Yep.
You know what? Okay, listen. There's broadly speaking, I think, two groups of people here. Okay? No, but I'm serious. There are members of the Libertarian Party, and there are people who came here to support Donald Trump.
One side was clearly louder than the other.
Oh, actually, I think some of it was both. The same people probably cheered for both.
Probably.
Listen, I have a message for both of you individually. I hear you. To the members of the Libertarian Party, which I am also one. Guys, listen, here's my message to the Libertarians here. The former president of the United States of America and the current frontrunner to be the next president is here to talk to you.
That's respect. I like what he had to say. What you think about Trump or not doesn't matter, but he is the president. He was the president. You know, he is.
Yeah.
And he's there to talk to you, unlike any other president before him.
Where'd you get this clip? Because Viva like spliced it up really weird.
Because I was on this when it was happening, man. I was getting ready for the show.
Okay, yeah, because Viva spliced it. It was just really poorly done. That's what I didn't like about it.
We are not a bunch of college leftist sissies. We believe in free speech. So be respectful.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many that are though. I love that he said that. I love that he said that. But
look at the fucking fedora dude with the bluey t-shirt.
Fucking talking about. This is his diplomatic way of telling those people to fuck off. You're not libertarian. This is why he said it this way.
You know what? More people might need to do that. And you know what? You're right. It was diplomatic. He might need if the Libertarian Party is going to clean up its act, and the people who are actually libertarians, whatever the fuck that means, They need to clean that shit up because I think they've got some serious problems there.
So that's why I don't like Viva being like, oh yeah, well you have multiple ego, blah blah blah. It's like, no, he has some TDS. He doesn't like Trump, but for the most part, he's very pro-libertarian, and he's actually the only actual libertarian that has ever attempted to like actually campaign under the party. Like he should. The Mises Caucus got like psyopted, just like the Libertarian Party got like psyopted. Like he was the only one that actually deserved to have an actual like leadership on the party. And so this was him, having his disagreements, but he's always very practical the way that he views politics, and he usually has pretty cool opinions. And this was a very diplomatic way of telling those fedora bluey shirt wearing, what time do we have lunch? Oh, well, I can't do this. Blah, blah, blah. Those dumb college fuckheads. This is him telling them to fuck off. We're the adults of the Libertarian Party, and this is who needs to occupy it. So I like Dave Smith a lot, even though he kind of pisses me off and he'll walk things back. He'll push anytime a Trump supporter like praises him, he gets a little weird for some weird reason. But I do like his.
He has the autism.
He has just the right amount of tism. He doesn't want to be president. He doesn't want to join these political parties. He feels obligated to because of how crazy everything is. That's why people want him to be, the leader of like the Mises Caucus back then. But now all that kind of fell apart.
He was campaigning to be president.
Yeah, he was,
and he had to step back for some family stuff.
But he didn't want to.
This election?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
what's up, Devil?
What's up? Excited to jump on and fuck with you guys for a bit.
We are technically on the last topic of Dave Smith shenanigans.
I have not heard what's his shenanigans.
Okay. So he right now, what we're watching right now is he is addressing the crowd right before Trump goes up.
Okay.
And so I'll roll it a little back because he's got a message for the Libertarians that are in the crowd, and he has a message for the Trump supporters in the crowd. And so I'm going to roll it back so you can hear everything he's got to say.
Okay.
I hear you. To the members of the Libertarian Party, which I am also one. Guys, listen, here's my message to the Libertarians here. The former president of the United States of America and the current frontrunner to be the next president is here to talk to you. We are not a bunch of college leftist sissies. We believe in free speech. So be respectful. I'm not telling you have to agree with him, and I'm not telling you have to cheer for him. But we're not having like Jordan Peterson at Berkeley event here. And the message we're sending to the world is not that we can't handle.
What was that?
Because that's how he feels. Like he is able to hear someone he doesn't like or doesn't 100% agree with, like Donald Trump, and he can do an opening for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you should be able to disconnect if you like. I agree that if they don't like his policies, great, but you should be allowed to let the guy speak and just like I said afterwards, go, he's full of shit. Okay, but do you have to fucking spit on the stage because he's there? Yeah. It's like just like they do in Berkeley. Not let him speak. He can't speak. It's hate speech. It's like ridiculous.
But that's what was cool about the Trump speech, though, is that there was such a mixtures of cheers and boos. Where people,
Yeah, I heard. So it's very interesting to watch that. There was when it was happening, it did seem like a lot of mixtures and boos. That's still how I perceive it. But I've seen people change their minds on that.
What do you mean? Like it's a bad thing?
A lot of people. So people that I've seen who were saying that who acknowledged that it was, so not many people acknowledged that it was a good mixture, right? There's either people who said it was all booze or people who said it was a good mixture.
How?
Well, the Libertarians and the Democrats are saying it was all booze.
You're retarded.
I know, but there was some Trump supporters who said it was a good mixture, and then some of those Trump supporters are now saying it was all booze. And I don't know if that's just so that they could do their content creation or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. They don't like libertarian parties.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Because there's a lot to not like about the Libertarian Party because it is mostly made up of those college fedora wearing, bluey shirt wearing, toe goffs.
Yeah,
I did it.
They're kind of neck beards, I believe is the term.
There you go. I have a good one though.
What the milady guy? What's that meme?
Oh,
the fucking bronies.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of them to go around. Anyways,
I understand.
Let's hear what else he's got to say. He's still got to address the Trump side of things, the Trump supporters.
Handle ideas that we disagree with. We are libertarians. We are constantly surrounded by ideas that we disagree with. We're in Washington, D.C., for God's sake. And here's my message to the Donald Trump supporters who are here. You came to the Libertarian Party National Convention, and we're libertarians around these parts. So let me tell you a little bit about what we believe in case you're not sure. Here's what we believe. Donald Trump, as President of the United States of America, was framed for treason by his own deep state.
Nothing.
He ain't lying.
And those people belong in jail.
And they're called Republicans.
It's all of them. It's every last.
Yeah, no, I know. I hate that people sit there and try to act like the Republican Party wasn't responsible just as much for the bullshit that happened during the election. It's like, yeah, no, it wouldn't have gone through if Mitch McConnell wasn't seen there blowing Nancy Pelosi the whole time.
Well, the fucking vice president forgot how securing an election works.
Yeah.
And then he gave the whole like too big to fail argument where he's like, well, if we go back and recount, the people won't feel that the government's secure. It's like, no, you double check to make the people feel, it's just a bunch of bullshit.
Who was the speaker before Pelosi?
I forgot her name.
He was
before Pelosi. It was a Republican. It was
Paul
Ryan. No, it wasn't Paul Ryan. Was it
Johnson?
Pelosi hasn't been speaker since the beginning.
Since the 70s.
No, she was only speaker for the last 2 years. There was a Republican the first 2 years of Trump's Trump's presidency, and he fought Trump on every fucking thing he tried to get done.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, essentially, yeah. There's the Republican.
I was inferring that Pelosi was the very first Speaker of the House.
George Washington promoted her.
Exactly.
After she got freaking Washington's coffee, he said, "You know what? I'm gonna put you in charge."
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, Trump was fighting against Republicans and Democrats the whole time. Could you imagine if the first 2 years things would have went differently? The last 2 years wouldn't have looked anything like they did.
Oh yeah. You know what the funny thing is about Pelosi being Speaker of the House all the way back then was like freaking Shock's relatives, like 150 years ago, still were like fiending for those sacks.
Oh yeah, it's my blood.
His great grandfather,
my blood, baby. Oh yeah. No
I gotta put the music on that video.
Yeah, I'll be watching just to see it.
They're chanting, lock them up.
It is an absolute crime against our nation that the intelligence agencies that supposedly work for the president would dare frame a presidential candidate. But they crossed a whole nother line when they framed the sitting commander-in-chief. And not one of them has paid for that. And that is unacceptable.
Agreed.
That kind of goes off of what Tim Poole was talking with Trump earlier. Not necessarily the intelligence agencies, but kind of the intelligence agencies and Fauci and everyone who lied to him and misled the American people.
Around these parts, we are truly America first. We believe in no foreign adventurism. We are strict non-interventionists.
Rip Cashman.
The proxy wars of choice following 20 years of disastrous terror wars in Ukraine and in Israel are absolutely inexcusable, and America should have no part of either of them. We are $34 trillion in debt.
That's pretty much it. So that was before Trump speaking. And then the day after, he was back at the convention and he had a response to the Trump speech. Let me pull this up here. Now, Neo, I want you to remember what Shock was saying earlier about Dave Smith. I'm sure it won't take much to remember it, but here we go.
So yeah, I liked a lot of what he said.
So I had this moment. I got to speak a little bit for a few minutes before Donald Trump, and I was speaking, and there were a bunch of people who were Trump supporters in the room who weren't libertarians. And so I try to do what I always try to do when there's people who aren't libertarians in the room. I try to say the most compelling, hardcore libertarian thing that might kind of win them over. And I don't really care about winning you guys over because you guys are already good on everything. But them...
No, they're not. But I digress.
I want to win over. And so I tried my best to do that. And I saw on social media somebody who's here at the convention posted that one of these Donald Trump supporters just watched my speech and said, hey, I really liked what that guy had to say, but I got to Google the Federal Reserve. What is that? And it reminded me of something that I think we all got to keep in mind all the time, is that so many people just don't know yet. And it is our job to teach them. That's the job that we have. There is a false dichotomy in this party where people often argue about whether our job is to educate people or to get elected. But those things aren't in conflict. We will only ever win once we've educated people. Obviously, they don't know yet. There's not enough of us.
Oh, wait. Damn it. That's not the clip.
I was going to say.
Hold on.
That wasn't
Shit, I hope it's in my
exactly
bookmarks.
what I was expecting.
Static back.
Yeah, no,
in his
that was not bad at all. That was actually very good. Let me.
Yeah.
I hope it's in my bookmarks.
Static.
You can't find the full one because Viva clipped it. That's what's annoying.
Yeah, I know, but I bookmarked everything.
Good. That's the hard thing about Twitter, because in a YouTube video, in a live stream, you can well thought out your, research and stuff. A Twitter post is, you do it on the toilet. you shoot from the hip, and it's like, did you really mean that? And people are going to take things wrong, too, when you're reading something versus it being a video where you can articulate how you feel.
Yeah. Text doesn't do a great job of conveying emotion or sarcasm.
Yep. But no, it was a very
I got it.
Looking down on him, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, like you hesitate supporting Trump, so I don't want to hear it from you now, kind of thing.
I got it. And
Dave
here it
Smith
is.
is someone
This
that
is
you
the
want
actual
on,
clip.
whether he likes Trump or not. Dave Smith is someone you want on your side because that dude's badass.
I woke up this morning to the coolest
smart.
thing that's ever happened in the history of the Libertarian Party. And I will, if I'm being completely honest, as Donald Trump was speaking last night, if I had control of how everybody acted, my plan was kind of like be respectful till he says something, like don't boo him before he even gets to the mic and just wait till he says something really bad, which he will, and then boo that. But I gotta say it worked out pretty good because I woke up this morning to reports in the New York Times, the Washington Post, Reuters, the Associated Press, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, and the BBC, and they all said different versions of the exact same title. Donald Trump tries to appeal to libertarians.
What?
Oh, shocker that all those news outlets say the same thing. What a surprise.
And they hate his fucking guts.
Could you imagine being happy about something that the mainstream media says in unison?
Right. Joe voting for Biden is punk rock.
Be respectable. Be respectable. And actually, I think what he should have. Someone was saying this morning. Maybe it was Quarter Pounder, but they were saying that Dave Smith should have said, just be quiet if he says something you don't like, because silence will suck the oxygen out of a room, right? And that would have actually put that. I think if people were quiet, that might have actually put Trump on his heels for the first time ever.
That's a good point. Yeah. Cheers. Good. Booze won't bother him, but being silent and not getting anything out of the crowd, I could see that causing a problem for him.
It's like Black Sheep when he's all, kill Whitey. Everyone's just quiet.
Are you talking about the movie Black Sheep?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he does the stage dive.
Yeah.
I saw the movie once, like 20 years ago, and I don't remember much of it. I need to watch
it. Wasn't as good as Tommy Boy, but it
wasn't. But yeah.
I just rewatched Tommy Boy not that long ago because it's like I haven't seen the movie in forever.
Stands Up. That is such a good movie.
But I felt that was actually pretty contradictory to what he said before the Trump thing. It felt childish to be like, yeah, we hate Trump. Like, who cares? Then that makes you just like NBC and CNN. Congrats.
Pretty much.
What a win. What a win.
Mm-hmm.
You're praising being associated with the news outlets that constantly lie about Trump. Congrats.
Yeah, exactly. And he knows that. He is so aware of it. And it just doesn't make any sense of why you would do that. I'm wondering, did my stuff crash? No. Okay. So there was one thing that I forgot. I wanted to check in on what Biden was doing over the weekend while Trump was, going to NASCAR,
forgetting most things,
visiting the Libertarian. What is it called? The committee,
Libertarian National Convention.
Yeah, the Libertarian Convention, which, by the way, was in Washington D.C., just down the street from Joe Biden's current residence, that he just could not seem to make it to.
Shady Acres retirement home.
Pushing daisies.
Biden was over at West Point giving a speech. Let's hear what he had to say.
Never forget, America is the strongest when we lead not only by our example of our power, but by the power of our example. You can clap for that.
Forgot to clap.
Please clap.
Yeah,
please
that's
clap.
Please clap.
Sad when the president needs one of the applaud signs that they have at the recording of sitcoms.
Right off camera, you have what's her name? That Jean Pierre chick waving a freaking quad flag.
So yeah, that's everything I got for this week. Devil, you really missed out on going over the Libertarian candidate. That guy is a fruit.
Saw
toe gaff.
No,
and all the Libertarian Party did was make fools of themselves, and that's really unfortunate. That's really, really unfortunate, because I would like something besides the two choices.
Yep. Be nice.
It would be nice if we could escape this polarity. If we could be non-binary in the political
right. No binary, non-binary
politically
thoughts.
Transgender.
Only
I think I asked this last time I was on. I think you had an answer as well, but have we ever had a president that was not because I was asking if you ever had a president that wasn't of the two parties? And the answer was yes, one.
Yeah,
George
There's
Washington.
one. Yeah,
Yep.
George Washington.
Because the parties didn't exist yet.
Yep.
Well, technically, didn't they have up till Lincoln? Didn't we? There wasn't a Republican Party, so there were other parties. There was the Whig Party, right? And so I mean, it wasn't.
There was the Whigs, and there was something else, and then something else became the Democrats because the Democrats weren't there from the beginning.
I remember that. I don't know if this was our history or like British history, but I remember two parties being Whigs and Tories.
Tories are the English version of conservatives.
Okay.
Except they're essentially more like leftist here, like a traditional leftist, and more than that than the Republican. Of course, like I said, Republicans are shit too. So
yeah, very much.
You mean like when you say that? Do you mean more like the term classical liberal?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
It was the Democrats and the Whigs.
Yeah, they're classical liberal. They're, like I said, they're considered their conservative party, but they're not at like conservative like United States conservative. They are their much still left type situation.
Gotcha.
They don't have conservatives like us.
We barely have conservatives like us.
Yeah, and they
True.
definitely don't have libertarians, I don't think. So.
No, you're not allowed to do that against the Queen.
Yeah, you'd already be imprisoned.
Yep.
Someone was telling me something. There's supposedly some Spanish politician who
The don't be gay chick.
was eating
I love her.
a video of him.
Javier Milei?
Yeah.
A video,
yeah.
No, Spanish, like from Spain, a Spaniard,
And she hasn't been assassinated yet.
and this guy was supposedly eating his turd.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, the dude who was licking the toilets?
That was German. No, this
No,
was something
German
else.
Dash.
Jeremy was telling me about this. That there was some
Well,
Spain political person who had a video leak of them eating a poop.
Jeremy would know about that. God damn, dude.
it's not exactly the most reputable news source.
Like, if we had our whole group and and you came up and said, somebody told me about a video about somebody eating shit, all of us would be like, it's Jeremy. Jeremy's obviously.
But like everyone saw the German thing, and it's like, so maybe this Spain politician isn't that far out there. Oh, it was Kel. Kel was the one talking about it. It wasn't
yeah.
Jeremy.
Kel, don't be that man. Don't be Jeremy 2.0.
Well, but no, I want to know why all these how are these people getting votes? How is someone who thinks it's okay? Well, okay, so the German dude was only running for office, right? He never got elected. Okay, so technically no one voted for him yet. But the person eating poops and the person who says black people don't know what computers are and the person who says black people don't know how to use computers are getting elected. How is this? It doesn't make any sense.
Because we our founding father said, you know what? Everyone deserves to vote. And it was like, really?
Well, wasn't it only property owners? So even they disagree that everyone should vote because you had to own property to vote.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, I just, oh God.
I don't know when
one
that
of the most,
changed.
No, I don't know. That's one of the most frustrating things is you have these people that are so willfully undereducated on just simple things and their vote counts as much as yours.
Yeah.
And you're like, God damn, okay,
Yeah.
I really looked into this. I really know what I'm talking about on this. And you have not a single fucking clue. And yet when we go into a booth, yours is just as important as mine. That makes no sense.
Maybe they should be worth 3/5 of a vote.
Yes. No. Yeah. Like I said, it just sucks. Like I said, some of these high schoolers and college students that just, like I said, it's just some talking point that their professor threw out to them because they think their professor is so smart.
Right. God.
Yeah.
You know, I went to a community college, thank God. And none of them had a crazy ego, especially the teachers of my main courses, which was computer networking. They were all just cool, hung out. They didn't have no fucking message to preach or anything. They're just like, go get a job.
As a teacher should be. It's like, I've said this on multiple episodes before. It's like, back in the day, it was college was teaching you how to think, not what to think. Now they teach you what to think.
Yeah, my sister, she when in her first college, she was at community college. She had a professor for poli-sci, and she thought he hung the moon and the damn stars because he appeared on CNN. And I was all, that doesn't fucking help him. I just mean, they have some really stupid fucking people on CNN. Remember how they had freaking Stormy Daniels' lawyer on there for how many, thousands of times, and till, calling, oh, you should run for president. Oh, maybe I will. And yeah, till that all blew up. But yeah, this guy ended finally like this whole image she had of him like totally broke, and she realized what a douchebag piece of shit he was. But it was this dickhead from Brazil who thought his whole class hung on every word he said and thought he hung the moon and the stars till inevitably towards the end of the year they all would realize he's a pompous bag of shit full of hot air. But yeah, and so after that I was like, god damn, like, is that how it is in every college? Just professors that people just, they get this big head and they think they're much smarter than they actually are. I don't know.
Well, now I wonder what they would say when Michael Avenatti came out and said Trump was right during this last go around with Stormy Daniels.
They'd be like, he's a criminal. We can't trust him.
But yet they'll go ahead and they'll trust Michael Cohen.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
But he's the right kind of criminal because he doesn't like Trump.
I don't think I did. I think I skipped that one.
I never knew who this person was until this whole trial thing.
Yeah, I think I skipped the Stormy Daniels FAP session because I went back and looked and I was like, what? Why would no?
Okay, full disclosure. Yes.
Well, I mean, the devil, it's kind of your job, isn't it?
Like, okay, back when she was actually like doing like Star Wars porn parodies and shit, she was actually pretty hot.
I didn't even know.
But yeah, no. But now she's just a washed up, wrinkly old.
So Wade is worried that I missed this message. He wants everyone to know that I'm a cool dude. And that he's also only 8 away from 1.5K, which is pretty damn cool.
Nice.
Congrats, sir. And good luck on that last 8. I'm pretty sure everyone here's already subbed.
I think Wade is hitting on you.
Maybe. Barking up the wrong tree. So you guys got any closing thoughts?
I still, like I mentioned before, I still think it's a possibility that less people vote this year. I still think it's a possibility. Interesting enough. But I think populism's kind of the future. We just have conservatives who are actual conservative, right, who don't like the Republican Party. We have libertarians that are libertarians, and both parties are being psyopted by its progressive half. So this populism of libertarians and conservative libertarians and just people who want less taxes, no intervention, they're going to get grouped into what's called, America First people, because that's kind of already a label in itself.
It's funny how that's like seen as a bad thing by so many people.
I know, right? And then the American First, like if that ever like gets more catchier as like a group of people, that would probably be led by Matt Gaetz and maybe Vivek in the future. But I wonder the possibility of less people voting this year because the political fatigue is real and populism is just growing and everyone's hating all the name tags and the labels and the parties and stuff like that. So interesting to see how air quote libertarians get pushed to whichever side because they're very divided.
What do you two think about? Do you think Neo Devil? Do you either of you guys think we see another record turnout this election?
I sure hope so.
I think that you're going to get Republicans and the people supporting Trump are going to come out. I think the people who are tired of Biden just aren't going to go out and vote. I don't think they're going to vote Trump as much as they want that. I just think they're going to stay home. So I do think there's going to be a real, which puts up an interesting thing. If they're going to try to pull the same shenanigans they did last time, is that going to work when you literally have, entire families of Democrats who say, yeah, I didn't go out and vote this time and stuff is it might be a little more suspicious. But I don't think people are tired. I think people actually really stand behind Trump because of what Democrats are doing with these court cases and shit. I think people want to see him win solely to stick it to this bullshit. They want to, even if they don't support his ideas, they just want to see, the underdog freaking win again. Because that was the best thing about him beating Hillary, was watching them literally lose their mind. I had like, my fucking hand was on my dick watching fucking all the freaking people lose their mind the next day. Fix this. I'm all like, oh yeah.
I do think there are more like, fuck it, I'm gonna vote Trump, but I also think there's gonna be a lot of I hate TDS, I hate Trump, but I'm not gonna vote for Biden. Less votes still means Trump wins. You know what I mean?
I think there's gonna be I could see Shock's side where there's a lot of disenfranchised Democrats.
I
don't know what to do.
And I think, because I mean, who can honestly say that they're better off now than they were 4 years ago?
No,
like it's hitting people who are, everywhere. It's like it's so bad that freaking nut jobs like Michael Rappaport are like, okay, Donald Trump is on the table. It's like,
what's even worse is he's getting admitted to he's getting paid. He's getting paid to say all that shit too. That's what's
he's getting paid to talk about the Israel stuff.
Yeah.
When he mentioned Zionism,
that's a good point.
Israel,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
I know who's better off. Jeff Bezos' wife. Not even Jeff Bezos.
Oh, fuck
just,
that bitch.
His wife is the most well-off woman.
I think so. Jeff Bezos' wife just did something, and it was bridge related. Yeah. I'd have to go back. It was something. It was like 2-3 weeks ago, but her headline with her dropped, and it was something among those lines.
The only people who are probably more well off are the 1%, which is funny because the Democrats sit there and say how much they hate them.
I know,
we're gonna make them pay their fair share,
Eat
but
the
somehow
rich.
they keep on coming out even better under Democrats.
Yeah, like AOC going to that event wearing the Eat the Rich dress. It's like, you're part of the problem.
How much did people pay for the plates at that?
Yeah.
$4,000 a plate. Oh yeah, eat those rich.
Well, she's the welfare politician. She's one thing I would like to see after this libertarian disaster clusterfuck, we need another political party. And it's not them. We need an America First political party.
Bring back the Whigs.
Because like
Wasn't there talk about making the Patriot Party?
A patriot party, but fucking Democrats think they're patriots too. People voting for Joe Biden think they're patriots.
And
you know
hilarious.
What? They might not be wrong. They just might be kind of retarded. You know what I'm saying?
That's actually a good shirt right there. They might not be wrong. They might just be retarded.
Nice. That's how I would describe libertarians, honestly.
So because what Sam here is saying, he doesn't call himself conservative anymore. Too many nut jobs on that side too.
I call them Republicans.
Yeah. So there's a difference between Republican and conservative. Conservative is more of a belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like that's like when when someone asks me how would you describe your political, I say, well, I have conservative values, but like I'm not a Republican, right? I want nothing to do with Republicans. I want nothing to do with Democrats. I also have very liberal beliefs. I have very libertarian values. I am very much on the idea of individualism, unlike the new libertarian presidential candidate who knows nothing about individualism, and which is a very core base of libertarianism.
Quite the oxymoron.
Yes. Anyways, I can't wait to see the end of the Republican Democrat regime. Hopefully that's not because of some world war and we've been conquered. But I'm done with it. Yep, exactly. Sam was able to rent a 2-story, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath townhouse for less than he makes now under Trump. Shit's definitely worse. Yeah, I'm my rent's done nothing but go up. It's just skyrocketing. Like, I mean, I don't have to live at this house, but I've been here for so long before Biden was around. I'd like to stay.
Well, it's like you said, your son the other day putting in that application for that freaking apartment, having to pay almost $500 just to apply, not even get it.
$360 to be exact. It was $50 for each person on the application, and then like another $220 for the application fees.
Yeah.
Was all that a part of a deposit or just application fees?
No deposit yet. Deposit is first month's rent.
Jesus Christ.
So you have to have almost $500 probably after they do the deposit, just for the opportunity. Not even like you're gonna get the apartment. That's crazy.
Yeah, just for a chance to say, okay, yeah, I'll rent here. It's that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make. As a matter of fact, that should cost nothing. That should cost nothing. And I believe Brad was saying last week, it did cost nothing back in the day. It always cost me something, but it was never that much. It was like $40 maybe at most. But yeah, the people who say that the economy's fine.
What world are they living in?
There's
parents pay for everything.
They're wrong and retarded, and they're lying and gaslighting, and I don't know how good that is for their own mental health. You know, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, you know, there's people that lie to. Oh, it was that dumb chick. You guys saw that thing about the judge who was getting roasted, who was getting questioned over putting that criminal in the female side of the prison.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
he went and did terrible things. Well, so Tim Poole did a video on that, and he's like, she actually believes this, and I was like, no, she doesn't, because she had to correct her pronouns.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's lying to herself. She's having to lie to her brain. Her brain is saying one thing, and her heart is saying something else, and she's lying to herself. And that made me wonder. I'm like, what does that actually do to you when you try to change yourself at such a core level, but they think it's virtuous, when really you're just fucking with your head?
How mentally ill do you have to be able to ignore all reason, all logic for a political ideology? You see a dude and he has done bad stuff to children 12 times, and in your mind, because your political ideology tells you, oh, well, we should give him another chance, and you have to ignore the fact that out of every chance he gets, he's never done right by it. Then every single time he's done it again and again and again. You have to start just deluding yourself. You have to lie to yourself straight up and say, what I'm told to believe in, what I'm told is the right thing, is more important than what I know is obvious. And that to me is crazy. Like, I just can't get around somebody fucking being that deluded.
And his original crimes were performed as a he. And then he switched to a she when the time was right. Like,
shocker.
Tell me you're being honest. There's no way that judge actually believes that shit. She's lying to herself and she's making a political statement. She's a fucking activist. All because of that one tell when she had to correct herself on her pronouns. If she actually believed it, that wouldn't have happened. Did anything come of that?
No, it never does.
Haven't heard anything about those since the clips. You know, you get all these fucking political clips and nothing ever fucking comes of it.
Sometimes they don't get in, sometimes they do, but all of it's kind of theater, because ultimately if the Democrats want them in, they'll just sit there and hold on to it till the Republicans give in, essentially.
Well, so that wasn't that was actually a criminal hearing, from what I understand.
I thought it was them being elected to a higher bench.
I thought it was for her to possibly lose her ability to be a judge.
Oh, well, then no. I mean, I saw the clip, but I thought it was to go to a higher bench. So often they have that, like, okay, you're having those things, and it's all like, okay, you want to move up to the, Fifth Circuit, get this boost here. Can you tell me about this, thing that jurisprudence or whatever the hell they call that shit, that anybody who's a judge, yeah, there you go. Anybody who's a judge should know. I don't know what that means. And you're like, shouldn't that disqualify him from even being on the bench? And then like you'll have them pointing out like this is something that anybody who's in law, first year law students should know about this, and you don't know about it. But yeah, we should put you in a higher court. And yet that person will still get in.
Ketanji Jackson Brown is on the Supreme Court, and she couldn't find what a woman is.
She has a master's degree and probably some sort of associates in biology. Like she literally has a degree in biology.
She got her degree in fucking hair care. She knows how to make braids. That's what the hell she did.
Jew is prudence.
You know I fuck words up. Shut up, Sam.
I have no idea what you're even referring to. I've never heard of this.
No, they had I think it was Kennedy. He was seen there. He was talking about something. He's all, do you know about da da da? And she's all, I haven't heard about that. He's all, huh? And he was like just floored. And he said, that's something you learn literally first year law.
Do you know what jurisprudence is?
I don't know exact
jurisprudence. It is.
I've never even heard of it before.
The theory or philosophy of law.
There you go. I didn't know the definition of it, but yes, I just know that whatever the hell this chick didn't know was something you're supposed to, your first year law students are supposed to be learning. And this chick is about to go to a higher court. I think it was like I think it was the Fifth Circuit, but I'm not sure. She was going up to a higher court, and she had no idea. She could not tell him what that was. She was blank on it. He's all like, really? Like I said, he was completely floored. And like I said, I'm pretty sure she got through. So yeah, just awesome.
What's worse though, the people that are lying to themselves, like you were talking about, or the people who are just so oblivious that they actually believe this stuff, that everything is great?
Repeat that.
Like, what's worse, the people who are like know the truth but lie to themselves and everyone around them because they have to abide by their side's political ideology, or the people who actually like honestly believe the stuff because they're just so like oblivious? Which person?
I go back and forth.
I'm not sure that there is an answer.
Yeah, because they're both.
That's kind of what I was. So okay, so I was thinking about this earlier, kind of. The Libertarian presidential candidate. He's kind of like perfect for someone like Vosh, right?
Oh God, yeah.
Because Vosh doesn't like Biden, but like this guy has all the same beliefs that Vosh does. The guy's all for corporate mandate vaccines. He's all for open borders. He's all for all this leftist bullshit. The kids going to drag queen story hour, right? This guy is perfect for Vosh, but Vosh won't vote for him because Vosh is more into the actual system, and he will continue to vote for Biden because that keeps him closer to actually having power. So the people on the left are more about actually having to obtain power, so they're more willing to use their vote in a way that they think would seize more power, whereas the right is why you have the libertarians and such, because there's a lot of Republicans out there that say voting libertarian is throwing your vote away, which I absolutely despise that, because you're taking away that person's freedom of choice. That person doesn't like your Republican candidate, but he does like this other candidate. So now you're going to lessen his vote and his position because he doesn't agree with you. Go fuck yourself.
Well, it's also because the Democrats have They are really, really good at a couple things. One is sticking together, sticking to party line. They towing the party line. They're really good at. They don't have consent or dissent. Sorry, consent, dissent. They're really good at that. Two is scaring people with bullshit. People are going to vote for Biden, no matter how they feel, no matter if they will fully admit that Biden is literally on his last leg, has no brains left in his head. He's dealing with a bowl of jello up there. They could fully admit that, but they'll still vote for him because the Democrats have them so scared that if Trump gets in office, that all the bullshit they've pushed, that he'll kill the gays, that he'll go after the blacks, that he'll,
he'll be president forever.
Yeah, he'll be president forever. They totally have bought into that, and it's because the Democrats can sell a lie to stupid people at just amazingly. They're real talented, and that's the thing. You'll see a lot of Democrats that will plug their nose and vote for Biden, even though they know that he's not there, just because they're so afraid of Trump. Orange man will destroy this world. Two things they're very good at.
Or you get people who won't vote.
I like
in the middle.
Samuel's last comment because that's exactly what I call him too.
The meat puppet.
The meat puppet.
Yep.
I use the term meat puppet for Biden for a reason. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. The whole fucking time, not since day one of the campaign, he was not there.
They even said all we need is your corporeal form.
And sometimes not even that, because dead people vote for Democrats.
Yeah.
What was I just thinking?
Oh, sorry.
Damn it.
Well, do it while it's still not illegal.
Oh, so Paul is a meat popsicle.
Oh.
Paul's still here.
Frozen on the outside. To the core.
You gotta be careful saying comments like that. If Dermy was here, he'd gauge the shit out of that.
About being a meat popsicle, or
no, something dirty like I'd warm you up or something. You know, Dermy. Somehow Paul would feel like sexually harassed.
Paul might like it though.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's a movie quote.
Name the movie quote. Negative. I'm a meat popsicle. I have no idea.
What is?
Something from the 90s though.
Sounds somewhat familiar.
It sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
You got us, Paul. What is it? I think it's something from the 90s. Some sort of crappy comedy. Oh, we have a special guest.
Oh,
he was going to join earlier, but yeah. We're kind
What
of
up,
just rapid
bro?
philosophizing.
Just rewatched that last month or so.
It's from The Fifth Element. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I just rewatched that a month or so ago. I don't remember that.
Yeah, me too.
How you doing, Sam?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Would have been here earlier, but I was tickling Devil's Balls over on Adam's channel. And
Nice.
Couldn't let that opportunity pass by
Dangle.
while I still have him. So
Yeah.
Going away present. You guys can feel free to do the same. Just
I'm on
Tickle,
it, but
tickle.
I'll pass. So
No,
what do
I
you
just-
think of the... Go ahead. Well, I was just saying, what do you think of the libertarian disaster?
I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched clips of it, but I think it's I don't know how they thought that was going to go. They bring Trump in. He is very charismatic as long as he is playing to his crowd, right? But he starts getting any kind of pushback, and I think that was very obvious from the clips. Then he starts getting a little flustered, and then he starts doing the mean tweet thing verbally.
I don't have a problem
I don't
with him
think it was a
roasting
big
them on the
deal.
3%.
I don't think it was a big deal. Yeah, the ATF stuff he rightly got booed for.
It wasn't. It was the NRA stuff. He's like, "Look, I've got a big
NRA.
sponsorship from the NRA," and everyone just laughed at him. These people want to get rid of the NRA.
Yeah,
like I said, I didn't watch the entire thing because I've got life to deal with. But it was
What are you implying?
I'm saying that politics can't be all we do every day.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got a life, unlike you losers.
No. Trust me, I spend way too much time on the fucking internet.
I know, I was giving you a hard time.
The big clip that was going around, the one that I saw the most was the one, saying, the Libertarian Party should vote for Trump, and then they started booing him, and he's like, well, only if you want to win, you keep percent, every year. He ain't fucking wrong, but he was read the room.
He's out of line, but he's right.
But he's right.
But like, if the way I saw that is if you're gonna boo somebody, they have every right to kind of jab you back.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
from a purely entertainment point of view, yeah, that shit was hilarious. I enjoyed watching the clip immensely. I don't know how the Libertarian Party thought that he was going to be why did they invite him to that event in the first?
Because there's no one really to vote for Libertarian Party right now. Yeah.
Apparently not, because the guy they elected, I can't believe it.
The guy who they elected, yeah. Yep.
I just can't believe
it. And then they lost Dave Smith, so there's a lot of Dave Smith fans too who still don't like Trump, but again are willing to hear him and listen to his policies and stuff as in the way he was introduced. I don't know. I just think it's cool that they actually had him up there, and I like the back and forth. I like the good boos and the bad and the cheers. I think that's how most speeches and public squares should go.
Honestly, you know what? Man, I'm kind of with you. I think if more the DNC started inviting GOP candidates to speak at their conventions and their events, then the RNC starts inviting Democrat candidates and Libertarian candidates and such to speak at their events. If everybody gets a chance to speak everywhere, I think you're going to end up with more, less of a sample serving of the marketplace of ideas that we have now, and more of an open, dialogue, which I think is actually better for everybody.
So I think that goes into what we were talking about with Nerdy Neo's question, and the Democrats can't do that. The Democrats need the echo chamber.
Oh yeah,
because their ideas don't stand up to scrutiny.
Like I said, better for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. It just won't. It won't happen that way.
That's why they want to shut down people.
It would be awesome though to see Republicans, and you know what I think. So, I think the Libertarians would have let Joe Biden speak if he wanted to.
Yeah, they probably would have actually.
He wouldn't do it.
The question is, could he speak?
I was just going to say that.
No, he couldn't. But they would let him.
True definition of the pressure.
True the pressure.
I mean, look, Biden didn't even campaign the last time, so that makes sense why he never showed up, right? But that's just the fucking popsicle, the meat puppet thing.
Popsicle.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
meat puppet.
Now he wants a popsicle. Damn it!
God.
The Democrats are fucked, but yet they have all the power.
Well, they spent 120 years cultivating it in this country.
Yeah.
This is a long game. It's always been a long game, and that's been the biggest problem for the RNC or anyone who sought to challenge them, is that we don't think past the next 10 years. They're thinking into the next century.
Yeah, especially because generally how it goes is the Democrats get into office, they fuck a shit ton of stuff up, make a big mess, and then when the Republicans get back into office, the 4 years that they have or 8 years, they're just trying to correct everything the Democrats fucked up, and they never accomplish anything of their own.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8 years of a Republican is essentially just trying to correct mess, clean up.
Pretty
That's
much.
all it is.
Yeah.
But that's not even true. That's not even true because George Bush Jr. did nothing but create more fucking messes.
Oh yeah,
that's the theory of these political parties are basically just established and anti-establishment, and anti. It's the deep state flops over between different parties all the time.
Yeah, the Democrats come in and start taking away rights and putting things on the and laws, bad laws, and then we just come in and go, oh, we really have to appeal that. And then half the time they don't even do it, like Obamacare. After they put Obamacare for, how many years did we have the Republicans running on? We're going to repeal and replace it. Trump comes in and says, let's do this. And they couldn't even get the damn votes to do it.
No. And
Even though that's what they've been running.
The House and the Senate his first 2 fucking years.
Yep. They should have been able to do it easy, no problem. But they couldn't. And they had all the power at that point.
I think he even had a super majority in the House the first 2 years.
I think he ended up losing it by 1 vote, and that was McCain. That fucking wrinkly old dickbag.
Yeah. You know, I actually voted for McCain.
Oh no.
Oh, against Obama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, me too.
Look,
Lower taxes.
Those Alaskan governor titties were mesmerizing. I couldn't.
Yeah. She had like a mommy thing going on. I just was like, oh yes, please.
Look, that woman was a good looking woman.
I wasn't allowed to vote in that election. I had literally just moved to California. I didn't have like a residency. But that was my first introduction to Gavin Newsom. Because he was the mayor of San Francisco at the time.
Yep.
He's the other wrinkled old ball bag. I hate him so much. Did you hear what that asshole just did here in California, or was trying to do? He ran when he was doing his thing. He was putting out things saying that it's the Republicans don't listen to the will of the people. He was pushing that message the complete time. They're putting forward a thing that to essentially say that any large tax increase here in California, the people will now have to vote on. It will have to go through the people. They can't just keep raising taxes and stuff. He is actually started a lawsuit to have that go before a court so that the court can shoot it down and say that, sorry, what the will of the people, it's not legal. It goes back to him. So he's seen there saying that he wants the will of the people to be listened to, at the same time trying to have a court take the will of the people away because he doesn't like that it interferes with his power. What a God,
you know what
can't say what I want to do.
Yeah.
What's sad about that is I don't think the people would stop raising taxes on their own, because there's so many people that go out there and vote to raise taxes for schools and all this shit every single election.
Well,
and it's just because, oh yeah, that sounds good, they should have more money, and they don't really understand that just because you raise the taxes to go to the schools doesn't mean anything's really fucking getting done.
Well, but it's the lie that they're told. It's like what you hear Biden say right now. We're not going to raise taxes on anyone making less than $250,000 a year, and they're all, well, I don't make $250,000 a year, and they don't realize their taxes went up. My mom does taxes. Full disclosure. She said you don't know how many people after Trump gave that big tax cut that would come in and they would be so flabbergasted that they're all, but the taxes, he said I wasn't gonna have to pay taxes. He said, no, you get to keep more of your own money. You paid less in taxes, not you're going to get more back. She had to explain to him that his tax cut doesn't mean you get a bigger check. It means you keep more of your own fucking money in the first place. They couldn't see that. They couldn't see that they were paying less in taxes. They just noticed they didn't get a bunch back. And that's the thing. People don't understand. A lot of these people, if you tell them that we want to raise your taxes, they would go no. The problem is they elect these politicians who say we're not going to raise your taxes. At the same time, they're signing things to raise their taxes. They're just not smart enough to know they're being fucked.
Yeah, we're not going to raise your taxes. We just want to give all this free shit to all these people.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all old enough here to remember George H.W. Bush saying, read my lips, no new taxes. And the very first thing he did the next week was raise fucking taxes, right?
Yep.
No, I'm not that old.
I remember that saying, but it wasn't.
I think my mom definitely bitched about it. She hated him.
I was old enough, but I wasn't paying attention. I was like 17.
Right. I was a kid at the time, but I remember when this happened, and I remember it being talked about by the adults around me and all that shit. And so I did pick up.
Yeah, I remember my mom talking about Bush for sure. Yep.
Yep. I was a kid too.
But that's
I don't know if I remember it at the time. Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, that's always the line though. They say we're always a lie every time.
I forgot. Yeah, Biden did that where he's like a tariff on China is a tax to the American people, and then he just like tariff China.
Yeah, didn't he just tariff them?
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After weren't they all ready before he was president?
Yeah, but
he removed a lot of stuff that Trump had.
Yeah,
Yep.
removed it and then reinstated it. Look what I did.
Well, it's just like okay.
He did the flip flopping on the student loans is insane. He's flopped back like 6 times back and forward. I'm gonna do it. Can't do it. I'm gonna do it. Can't do it. Does it? Oh, I can't do it. Does it? Oh, it's crazy.
Well,
Wait,
it's the
even
same thing.
Even
Even
the headlines.
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, speaking of that, I don't know who it was, but I think someone just asked the press secretary, whatever her name is, basically that question. Like, what about the
Pierre.
people who either didn't go to college or already paid off their loans? What do they get?
Yep, nothing.
She danced around it because she couldn't answer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing like with the alleviation for people paying for insulin. That was under Trump. And what did Biden come in and then tried to reintroduce it a different way and then said, "Oh, look what I did." It's all like
he removed
Trump.
it and then reinstated it later on and wanted to get credit for like, look what I did. It's like, no, you took that away that Trump already did and then reinstated it and claimed it as your own.
But there's people who will buy it.
Yep.
There's people who will eat that shit up. Why? Why do these people? Why do these people exist?
Because we haven't found a way to eliminate them. In my
no. I mean,
there's a way. We just can't talk about.
How did we create this? How did we create?
We got comfortable, man. That's how. We got comfortable and we got complacent. We got lazy and we bought into the American dream, which was a thing once upon a time. And we just assumed all this shit would continue going for us. And we allowed people who do not have the best interests of their people or their country or their constituents at heart to get into places of power. And they are not letting those seats go. And we let that happen.
I was talking less of a political perspective and more of a how did we make it possible for people to completely miss critical thinking?
Yeah, well, same deal, man. It's they got into education and they started the programs where you had to back and regurgitate whatever you were told, but they repealed programs that would allow creativity or individual thought or creative, not creative. What's the word I'm looking for here? I guess reason, like all those things that encourage that, critical thinking. All of those programs have been repealed, and defunded and whatnot. And only the programs that remain are the ones that get those schools funding, right? So, they're like, oh, well, you got to meet these standards. These standardized tests will tell us how much funding that you get. So they've all got to meet these standards right here. Well, those standards are all like, repeat back to us what we fucking told you to say.
Yeah,
and,
there was,
generations have been brain.
Yeah, there was a guy, I don't remember what his name is, but he was on Side Scrollers this last week, and he's been on before because he had a viral video kind of explode a few months ago where he was a teacher. And
Warren Smith.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah.
And he's a teacher, and he was basically just a student who is not. Who was basically regurgitating, these left-wing talking points without ever, without ever actually thinking about it themselves. Yeah, it was a J.K. Rowling thing, and he was just asking questions to lead them, to critical thinking, and like, okay, you believe that she's this massive transphobe, but why? Just asking questions, and then just a couple weeks ago, he got fired for it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Crowder actually pointed out, it was a while back, a couple years, that they actually were trying to stop teaching critical thought in colleges. They were actually trying to push this different form that essentially goes on all this DEI crap. That if you have a question, the first thing you have to ask is, where is the power imbalance? Who is being negatively affected? Who is being victimized?
There's a special word for it.
Yeah.
Where are the unconscious biases. Are there
Yeah.
any unconscious biases that you have before you form an opinion about this?
Yeah.
And if there is, you're not allowed to talk about it, and you need to point out the disadvantages. That's how they like.
If it's an unconscious bias, how would you know about it?
Critical thinking is
race.
This happens. Why? Why did that happen? Why does it happen? How? We're going to stop seeing that. We're going to only see it through this lens of victimhood, and it, like I said, it had a name for it.
In a way where it's like, are you allowed to comment on this? That's what the checklist is. Can you comment on this? Are you allowed to? Do you have biases where you're not allowed to partake in this discussion? It's like, well, if you just got a classroom full of white people, you can't have a discussion.
Can't talk at all.
You learn, you just can't talk. What the fuck's the point?
So if your question is, why is there so many stop signs in this town? A critical thing would be like, okay, why is that? Well, let's see at the statistics. Is there a lot of traffic accidents that they put in more traffic signs to prevent those? You try to find the reasoning behind it. With this new way, this new way is who is being negatively affected by it, and how does it contribute to a diminishment of some sort of victim class? So you would say, okay, is there a lot of black people in this town? Well, about 70%. Oh, well, then it's racism. And it's to try
how
to
many
keep
black
people
get
from being able
here?
to, they want to take black people's licenses away. And so they put in more traffic signs so that they get more tickets and they lose their license. That's what it is. We've just figured out why they put more signs.
Wait, black people don't know where to go to get their license.
If Atlanta, Georgia is 85% fucking black in terms of population, then statistically there are going to be more people who are black getting pulled over and arrested in Atlanta, Georgia, because there are simply like that's how demographics work. But
don't come at me with your logic and reasoning.
Well, that's the thing, man.
I can't hear this hate. I can't hear this.
Right. Hate. I was lucky enough because I went through the same school
mighty white
system as
supremacist
everybody
of you.
I mean, I'm pretty white, so but I went through the same school system as everybody else did. I got fed the same like learn by rote shit that everybody else did, and all of that. I got lucky after school was out, and I ended up in a series of jobs that taught me things like risk assessment and cause and effect, which allowed me to look at something like, okay, so this happens, why? And I can look down the road and see like, okay, so this could go this way or this way, depending on how this initial action, takes place and all that stuff, which allows me to extrapolate that to other, avenues of thought. But this is not a thing that happens a lot. You get people who go into like fucking Starbucks for 10 goddamn years and they're not learning a damn thing.
You got
except how to
lucky
hate their customers.
School, was it with the teacher?
I mean,
oh no.
I don't think that.
Giggity.
Oh, it's so far past the freaking her getting in trouble.
So you use that Starbucks as an example, and like they're not learning anything. But here's what you're supposed to learn as a job at Starbucks. One, customer service, right?
Oh yeah.
Sure. So Starbucks is a first job, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you're learning customer service, and then you're also learning how to make coffee, right? Like you're learning how to follow their system to make their coffees.
Well,
and
first
then
you learn how to clean up needles in the bathroom.
Well, there's that. You're learning.
First you learn genders, how to identify gender.
And then if you want to make more money, you're also learning how to kiss your boss's ass. You're learning how to take on more responsibility to get more money. Right? Like that's how raises work. That's what I like. My first job was pizza places, right? And I always got raises. I always got raises within the first 6 months that I worked at all of these different pizza places because I went out of my way to go and learn how to do fucking everything I could do in the store. And so that's what you're supposed to be learning at Starbucks. People aren't doing that. People are expecting to go in, serve coffee, be a fucking ass, and maybe even go and not do anything and make money to pay rent.
Right. Well, it's also supposed to teach you that, how to get along in the world. It's supposed to teach you responsibility, how to show up,
how
on
to get
time,
a work.
it's supposed to teach you respect for the the work ethic. It's like, look, if I do this job for you, you pay me X amount of money. I don't do this job for you, you don't pay me X amount of money. You don't pay me X amount of money, I don't do this job for you. That's how shit's supposed to fucking work. But they just go in and they're just like, well, I'm entitled to this paycheck and I'm going to stand here with my thumb up my ass and just sneer at all
Make
customers.
Make a TikTok about it.
So have all the Starbucks in California gone to kiosks for ordering?
No, because they're unions.
Yeah.
Okay. But I thought only a few stores actually unionized. Like it's not all.
Yes, that's very true. Actually, here's the thing though: the Starbucks that have unionized are all closed.
Yeah.
And then what they did is actually I've seen it in California. They just move across the street and they make a new one, even though they already have one. But I'm assuming those ones aren't union. I think that's what they did.
The reason taken over by Dutch Brothers.
That $20.
Actually, dude, so many fucking Dutch Brothers in California.
Yeah, they're really
I don't drink coffee, so I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking because of the $20 an hour thing is having a lot of places get rid of people, and like it's even affecting Arizona, where our McDonald's are all kiosk now.
Yeah,
well, yeah,
there's kiosk here too.
That's the thing is all these people fight for 15. They don't get that they're pricing themselves out of the market. They're making themselves obsolete. We already knew 10 years ago that these companies were wanting to go full automatic. What's the word?
Automated.
Automated. That's
Automated. No.
Fully automated. They've been working on this for years. All you do when you force these higher wages, when you push the wage up higher than the market allows, because all this is set by the market. If you fuck with the market like that, all you're doing is those people who are innovating in that industry are going to shoot it into high gear, because now there's more money from those businesses saying, hey, that burger flipping bot you've been working on for like 6 years, how much to get it done in a year? That's all you do. So yeah, you're going to have every one of these fast food joints become where they have one guy come in the morning, load all the frozen burger patties in, all the buns in, all the fries in, and then you're going to have some machine that flips fries and puts that shit together for you. And they're not going to have a single freaking person in there for the rest of the day.
I'm pretty sure that already exists. I think I remember hearing about a McDonald's that was fully automated. It wasn't even a single employee.
And you're going to have every single one of them do that, because once one of them can do it, others will do too.
Yeah. And as soon as it starts making them a profit, they'll be like, oh shit, that's the way to go. And this goes directly back into what I was saying about these people, these kids, they're not learning, cause and effect. If they had been learning, like, look, if I start demanding higher wages for a job that's not actually worth that amount of money, then they're going to get rid of me and replace me with a fucking machine down the road, right? They would have seen this shit coming had they been using critical thinking.
Yep.
As someone who has knowledge of the restaurant business, what restaurants do whenever they put food out is it's a very set equation. How much food cost is, then you have to contribute how much the manpower it takes to make said food, the cleaning products, the extras like straws, napkins, plates, whatever it is that goes with it, and then you come out with how much that dish is going to cost from you to put that dish on the table for somebody to buy. And then you added a certain amount for the thing. It's a cost benefit analysis for every dish on your menu. And then from that, how much you can expect to sell of that product in the area you have yourself in, due to population, whatever it is. That's how you come up with how much you can usually afford labor-wise. When you start fucking with that, if the market says that you can charge $4 for that burger, and if you charge $4 for that burger and you sell X amount of burgers, you can afford to pay that employee $12 an hour. And then somebody comes in and says, actually, you're going to pay them $15. They have to reroute that number. They have to find a way to come up with that extra $3 an hour. And the only way they could do that is either by charging more for the burger, which could lose them customers, because the customer might be like, $4.50 for the burger, no problem. $6.50 for the burger, no, I'm not interested in your stupid burger. Yeah. Or they can have less people there.
Or both.
Yeah, or both. The market is what it is because of how much it will bear, how much people will pay for a Big Mac and how many Big Macs they sell. That's how they determine how much they can pay. And so fucking with it with the minimum wage and shit actually hurts employees because it makes where these companies can't afford to fully staff themselves. Up here where I live, we have a Taco Bell. I think at one point they had 2 people working in there. When I used to work at Taco Bell, we had 5 to 6 people working at all times. And this one has 2. One running both registers, jumping back and forth from the inside register to the car register, and one person making food for both.
That means you're getting stale ass food.
Yep. Cold food. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't eat the coleslaw at KFC. Just saying.
Okay.
I like coleslaw anyways. I'm not gonna eat coleslaw regardless.
It's insane what we've done to ourselves. I had a buddy who was a Californian, and he supported back when it was $15, right? This was over 10 years ago now. And I was like, but then everything else goes up for everyone. And he's like, yeah, but it only goes up a certain amount, and so it really doesn't affect anything. It's like, yeah, it does. It just wiped out your fucking raise. And the fact that he couldn't even understand that. And I'm just like, fuck. What is going on here? How do you not see the cause and effect here? Like, I just don't get it.
I'm due for a cola here in a month or so, and like the way things are going, and it's not much but a drop in the fucking bucket. It's slow down. You know, the shit coming my way, and we're only talking like a 3% cola. Cost of living adjustment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the heck is he? What's that word?
I'll give you a Coca-Cola right now, man. You don't have to wait.
I thought he was talking about, like, I don't know, a colonoscopy or something.
Yeah, me too.
No, it costs more for them to do that. Damn it.
It's when they give you a raise you didn't actually earn.
I just hadn't heard it referred to as that before, but that makes sense.
It's acronym gets tossed around at work. I work in local government, so we use all kinds of stupid shit like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, no wonder why you're anonymous.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Do you guys remember when they even froze the cost of living stuff back in after the 2008 stuff? So many people couldn't even get raises, and the cost of living just kept shooting up. And then they brought them back, and everyone was getting like 2%. And it's like,
this was immediately after the housing market bubble collapsed in 2008. Yeah.
And they're doing it again. They're doing it again.
Yeah, cost of living increases is less than the rate of inflation, so you're still losing money.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm due for one here soon too, like in the next month or two. And yeah,
it ain't gonna cover shit.
No, it's not. It's not gonna change a thing. And I'm actually making the most money I've made in my life, and like that 3% should make a difference, and it's not.
Yeah, place where I can't.
The best 3%.
I got to watch how much. Yeah, I got to watch how much overtime I get, because if I make over a certain overtime in any given pay period, would you lose me?
Oh.
I got a raise like that one time. I got a raise once and I made less money.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm a bit off.
I need
from
more,
the next
bitch.
tax bracket.
Yeah, well, when it happens stuff like that.
I got divorced a couple of years ago, so I automatically got pushed into a tax bracket.
But when it happens like that, you essentially end up working some of those hours of overtime not only for free, but it ends up costing you money in the long run, because you still get taxed on all of that shit.
Yeah.
You're up.
But you make more money than other people now, so you're paying your fair share, Sam.
Oh my god!
And you end up making.
Is it my internet or Sam's internet? That's
Sam's
right now. Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Sam doesn't have internet. He has a hamster on a fucking wheel with a
That's true.
It's just a black hole, and the hamster spins it. Generates internet.
A little void hamster. No, they honest to God, you got to wonder where it's going to finally just all break down, because it's getting so bad out there. People can't afford gas. They can't afford food. They can't. What's going to that's when shit pops off. When people are hungry and can't, that's when they grab things and start, things called revolutions and, and so how far is this government going to drive us till that kind of shit pops off, till people just can't stand it because they're literally starving because they can't afford a cheeseburger at $12 a piece.
Well, that's why you're supposed to be buying beef and bullets right now. Because so if Trump does not win the election, I give it 2 more years before complete mayhem.
Less.
Because what?
Less than 2 years. It's
yeah, you know what? It could just be right after Biden's declared the winner.
Yeah.
World War fucking 3, boom, it's over. And by no means do I think, and by no means do I mean like America would be conquered or something, but I do mean that the economy is just fucked.
Yeah. All we have to worry about is what form will it take? Because as much as I would love to see the government, like in Minecraft, everyone in Minecraft, overthrown, I wouldn't want it if it's some socialist bullshit, because they will take advantage of that. They will sit there and say, oh, if only give us power, we'll make sure all that shit's free. Oh, free food. That sounds like a great idea.
So you want an anarchical apocalypse type thing going on?
No, I just want a
reset.
I just want them, like a reset. Exactly what I'm going for.
Okay, a reset's great.
No, not that kind of reset. Not that kind
like Fight Club.
Yeah, no, reset, a real reset, but like that might almost be impossible just because of all the debt and everything.
Well, the thing is that would be kind of difficult, but they'll never claim on the only way they'll ever call in the bill on how much money we owe, because China owns most of it, is if they absolutely have no other choice, because we buy all their shit. And so if our economy collapses, no one's there to buy their shit. That's the reason they live off the interest. They like the interest we have to give them for all the debt we owe them. They wouldn't want to call in the tab, like I said, because then we essentially declare bankruptcy as a country, and that would collapse everybody's economy. The whole world would literally collapse if that happened. Everybody's economy. So it's like I said, how they if all these countries have nukes, no one will shoot off a nuke because mutually assured destruction. That's the word. See, I don't know words. I forget words. Mutually assured destruction. The same thing is with the economy.
Not in his jurisprudence.
Shut up. All of the economies are so laced together now worldwide that if you collapsed an economy the size of America, every single economy around this world is done for.
Yeah. That's why the entire world watches our elections. Our presidential elections.
That's why BRICS is the thing now too, is because they're trying to set up against that eventuality. And some of the members of BRICS are actively working towards that eventuality, but some of those other states are, they don't want to go down with the U.S. So they're trying.
Yep. If the petrodollar crashes, a lot of shit's gonna go down.
Yep. Yep, at that point, every country, it's every man for themselves.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any allies. There's going to be everybody trying to just survive country-wise.
Neighborhood-wise. It's not just country-wise, but it's in your neighborhoods, because people will be starving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This was Sam's plan from the beginning.
Right? What is it that they say? They say that mankind is only ever 24 hours and one meal away from total barbarity.
Yep.
First world nations. Very soon.
It's certainly a possibility if something doesn't change. I think it can be prevented still, but we are certainly running out of time. Well, gentlemen, I'm getting tired.
Yeah,
we
me
should
too.
wrap it up. Oh, well, hello, Bad Take Bojan. You always seem
Hey,
to do this.
Tina.
Hey, Bojan.
Popping right in at the end.
Yeah.
So, Sam, want to let the good people know what you got going on?
You can find me over same name Samuel Lee. We're doing Friday night, Saturday. You can also Exiled Lioness 2 content. Yeah, it is what it is. And you can find me on Adam the Renaissance Nerds channel on Mondays for Mellow Mondays. Other than that, I am trying to not live on the internet all the time.
Nice. Need a break for what's about to come up.
Speaking of breaks, Devil. Anything you want to say?
I will be on Paul's show tomorrow for book club. We're doing Nicolas Cage movies, and then I'm off. I gonna take a break. It could be anywhere from a month to 2 months. I don't know. It just depends on how quickly I'm able to get everything I want to get done, and also just feel ready to come back. But when I do, all my shows will be back. I'll be back on everyone's show. Everything. I still have Devil's Angels that I was working on, in the works. So yeah, just, hopefully everyone doesn't unsubscribe from me and abandon ship the second I take a break. But yeah, so I will see everyone when I come back.
I'll keep
Bye,
your seat warm for you.
Devil.
You will be missed, sir.
Thanks.
And Shaka Zulu, what have you got going on?
Not much. YouTube videos. Shaka Zulu 12. I am 5 followers away from being an affiliate on Kick. Get some gaming streams going. Try to have some fun as we await the next few months. What happens in our country, hopefully. But yeah, good show, everybody.
Yeah, this was fun. This random conversation at the end. This is cool.
Yep, all you guys each other.
And Nerdy Neo, how you doing, sir? What you got going on?
Yeah, got some good stuff going on this week. So for anyone who's not familiar with me, go check me out on my channel, Nerdy Neo. Basically everything on my channel is video game related, mostly discussion. Occasionally I stream games. But tomorrow, I'll have to tweet it out because tomorrow's stream is not going to be on my channel since it's not actually video game related, but I will be on for the next episode of Top 5 is tomorrow, and that's going to be on my co-host channel, Jason. Tons of fun. So if you follow me on Twitter, I'll be tweeting that out at some point. If you want to check out the top 5 Star Wars characters, since we're still May, we're keeping the Star Wars theme going, and me and our panelists are going to be ranking our top 5 favorite Star Wars characters. Thursday night, I will probably do an open mic. I don't have it scheduled yet, but it'll probably happen, but we'll see. And then Friday will probably be the next episode of Achievement Chasers with my achievement hunting buddy, Dude1286. And then on Saturday is the return of Party Chat. Now that I am done traveling for work for the foreseeable future, I can get back to my usual schedule because the last episode of Party Chat was like on April 20th. So it's been a bit of a break because stupid work getting in the way and having to travel and work weekends and stuff. But that's over now. So returning for Party Chat. So I'm excited to get back to that. And we'll be talking about, I don't have the topics yet, but the guest host for this week's episode of Party Chat is going to be Alec Baldwin's finger.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Alec Baldwin's finger never misses.
You don't miss.
So
He's
we'll be talking
hilarious, bro.
We'll be talking about fun video game topics, and yeah, I'll come check it out.
Nice.
Very cool. That should be an interesting conversation. I like ABF.
His gaming channel, he likes to keep things positive too. So he's
just like me.
He's a lot like you. He's not blind to what's going on today. He likes talking politics, but he likes to keep his gaming show like positive.
Cool
thing about you guys. You'll love him, bro. He's a cool dude.
Well, on that note, you know what channel you're on. You know what I do. I'll be here. We'll be back here Thursday for the weekend pregame, where we're gonna be looking at RuPaul's Drag Race latest thing.
Yay!
Because that's just
I'll miss
one of
that.
those.
Oh no, I timed my break too well.
Well, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the drag queen dressing around after she just became some zipper tits.
Yeah, I saw the picture. Ugh.
But it raises an interesting question that I want to ask, and so you guys can tune in on Thursday to find out what that is. Plus, I'm sure we'll find some other things that aren't so fucking disgusting to talk about. Hopefully, just
of course there is. It's weekend pregame.
Just don't be like Timon. Make sure you eat before you tune in. And thanks to Tina, thanks to Kel, thanks to Paul, thanks to Fractured, thanks to Duke, thanks to Wade. I'm sure there's someone else I'm missing. I know there is. Oh, Acid was in here earlier. Thank you all for tuning in. And no outro video, so wave awkwardly and say bye.